Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that shit was bad. Where's my energy, son? Where the fuck did it go? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Ramblemania shall probably brings to you this one half of the longest reigning tag team champions of the world. Put me in the sim.
That's his name.
Doing this.
That is his name. Don't worry.
That's his name. That is his name.
Joining me as always.
It is I, your current, reigning, defending, undisputed Ramblemania champion. 10 times at that. Of this, that, those, all the other worlds. TJ the Great TJ the Great.
And I am your former 10-time Ramblemania heavyweight champion, Hazel the Eye Zombie. And run to your nearest Five Guys immediately because Sanada just won the world championship. Free burgers all around, son.
We here.
Free burgers all around.
Everybody talking about that In-N-Out shit.
Does that work in New York?
I think so.
Or is it a Japan only situation?
I don't know. I don't even think they have Five Guys in Japan, but it's just the name of the faction.
They do now.
Yeah, they do now.
they do now.
Just Five Guys got themselves a world champion, and that man is Sanada. Welcome to our WrestleMania 39 recap for night 1, night 2. We sit here and we will recap the good and the bad, and the who booked this shit here for WrestleMania goes product placement.
Yeah.
Fair.
Can I ask a question? Why Sanada look mad generic now?
I don't know, man. I guess
whose idea was let's go and make this motherfucker, this cool Super Saiyan looking motherfucker. Let's make him Cody Rhodes / Dolph Ziggler when they went dark hair.
So I will grant you that the look is generic, especially when compared to his last look.
Yeah.
But the presentation, you gotta watch this motherfucker cutting promos and the way he carries himself now. He different.
So now he fancy and shit.
He fancy now.
Gator was like, "Yo, you're about to be traded from the Red Sox and go to the Yankees. You got to get clean shaven, everything."
I think the thing to say about Sanada is like, remember when when was it that he faced Okada and he won the cup before? 2019.
Yeah, I think so.
At that point, I think it was safe to say Sanada definitely had the look. He 1,000% had the look, but it was everything else that needed to catch up. Now he's got everything else. Like,
yep.
He's there now. He's ready to be a top player, a key player.
And now they made him look generic.
Yeah, but I mean the presentation is good. He's good. Like if you see it with the homies and everything, it works. It works. Trust me.
I mean, look
with the Five Guys,
with the Five Guys that are eating the burgers and fries, it's cooking.
Yeah. But
can we go to In-N-Out and get the same deal or not?
Nah, it's over. In-N-Out is dead.
It's over.
Five Guys is the winner.
In-N-Out is dead, son. It's fucking dead. And I was telling TJ this last night when we was watching.
Wait, hold on. How about Smash Burger?
I haven't had that yet. I don't know how they rocking, but
Smash Burger is pretty good. It's pretty good.
Smash Burger. So I'm gonna tell you, Smash Burger is delicious.
Yes, it is.
It's literally, you think like it tastes. I can say it kind of tastes like what you would think a giant White Castle burger would taste like, because it's just like super really greasy beef, like with just layers of cheese and beef and cheese and beef and cheese and just smashed into a bun. So yeah.
Okay.
The fries are amazing. Like if there was ever a time that I would love onion rings on a burger, Smash Burger knows how to do it because they have like those really, really thin, crispy onion rings where it's like it doesn't even feel like you're tasting the onion. You're just tasting the crisp of it.
See, that's the thing that I can take it over the edge for me, the fries. Like, I love Five Guys fries. And mainly, I love that they give you the whole fucking bag of potatoes when you get fries at fries.
Yep.
Five Guys. They like, you ask for a small fry, they're going to come up with a little small cup, and then just overflow that shit with fries. Just dump the shit on there. No matter how much you order, you get in way more fries than you asked for.
Your fries went from small to just like fuck the medium. You went from large because they overflow that shit.
A small at Five Guys is actually a large, and a large is a double X.
I believe Smashburger does that also because they serve your fries in a fucking cup, and they fucking put their shit in there. Like sometimes it'll overflow.
Wait. I found out that in McDonald's, a medium fry is the same as a large fry in a different container.
Yep.
Same thing with the if you they don't have self-service soda, same thing. Put the same amount of soda in there. Just add more ice.
Yep.
And in the water. Yep. And in the large, what they do is just they give you the same as they would in a medium, but they put it in a larger container.
I've seen motherfuckers do that when I worked at Wendy's. Like, niggas would just add like 50% ice on the cup and then fill it up with water, and then like the rest would just Sprite.
That's why and then give it to these motherfuckers.
It's like, y'all niggas is mad slick. Just telling people, you could just tell people we don't have salsa water, but I understand you want to make this sale. And niggas is really desperate at making that fucking sale, son.
Order a fucking medium whenever you buy anything anywhere. Order a medium. Trust me, it'll be worth it.
The largest,
our mediums at Wendy's are like a fucking large. The large is like extra large of when McDonald's came up with the super size me shit.
Now the super size me was real.
No, that shit was real. That was real.
But that was real. They really gave you what a real large fries was supposed to be.
Yeah, but those you couldn't fake those. The super size, the biggie. Remember the biggie from Wendy's?
The biggie, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, niggas would rather go get a supersized order of fries than a large bag of potato chips, which just gives you half the fucking bag.
Yeah, that food they be playing.
Well, there's a supposed reason to why they started adding more air to chips, and I think it's a little true.
I get where they're coming from, but
they started putting the air literally just because of the fact that chips were coming in like basically powder at a certain point.
And not only that, they won't taste stale if you keep them fucking closed. Like if
it does make sense that
days,
you do need that compressed air within the chip bag so that when the chips are bouncing around and all that, when they get transported from the factory to the store, they'll get crushed that way.
Although they still kind of get crushed when Ak puts them in the stock because they just kind of throw it in there.
Yeah, because if you ever seen Ak load them in at the store, he just it's fast. So
I don't blame him. I don't blame him because to be honest, you're there for fucking 12 hours. Them motherfuckers work crazy hours. Yeah, and I feel bad. Sometimes 14. I heard 14 was like the craziest one that I ever heard, and I'm like, that motherfucker's wild.
You literally have to do it like while there's people coming in and out of
the store, in and out, and it's just you and that one other guy who like helps stock.
So you can't be there forever. So I get it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. And I mean, who has ever complained about a little bit of crunch chips in the bag? It's fine.
Yeah, it's just you don't want the whole thing. Like back,
you don't want the whole thing.
Yeah, in the 90s, I remember. You would get a fucking bag of chips. Sometimes it would be all fucking crumbs.
Like if you just get those 25-cent bags and it's all crumbs, and you are
25-cent bags. Which are now 50-cent bags.
I never cried over it, but a lot of people, they didn't like the fact that they're buying chips and it's just fucking crumbs every time they fucking buy it. Man. So they started adding more and more air and and then with inflation and
we done went all the way off talking about food. We're gonna talk about WrestleMania. WrestleMania.
But on some wrestling news, you got some shit with WWE and MLW. I'm guessing their lawsuit is still continuing. What the fuck is going on with that?
And is what has become a tug of war of sorts. WWE is once again filing a motion to dismiss the MLW lawsuit. If you heard about this lawsuit before, and you would know that MLW sued WWE sometime last year for attempting to monopolize pro wrestling business, shutting them out. Antitrust is the technical legal term for it. Antitrust claim for monopolization, attempted monopolization, that kind of thing. A judge dismissed it in February and gave them 21 days to amend it. They did amend it. They came back. So now WWE is coming right back after it. Like, no, get it out of here. We're not trying to monopolize. They addressed the complaints by talking about the fact that MLW had to deal with reels, the fact that AEW is doing well, and like we talked about before, in court they acknowledged AEW as their competition. They're saying this was our direct competitor, and they do very well in the market. So they cite AEW as an example. They cite WoW as an example. They're basically saying, look at all these other little companies that have risen up, and there's even one pretty big company that's risen up. We're not monopolizing anything. So that's basically their argument against it.
Yeah, but you know what really grinds my gears though?
What?
It is this Mr. McMahon feller who just keeps popping up and sticking his nose into every fucking thing.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So apparently he didn't do huge changes to SmackDown, but he was still on the phone bothering Trips, and he,
Hey.
you know, allegedly.
Hey. What the fuck are you doing?
And apparently he made one change. You know, I don't know what the change was, but apparently he made one change throughout the whole night. So,
Well, apparently, I think one of I don't know if one of the changes was the fact that one Drew was not there, and they took him out of a cricket meet and greet that he was supposed to do, and they added Gunther in at the last minute. That
don't
might
worry
have not
about
been
Drew.
the case.
He's trying to secure the bag.
No, yeah, that too. But that might not have been the case. But I heard that he was making a couple of phone calls within the show, talking about like a few things need to be changed here, there. But again, this whole thing with MLW, it's like, yo, WWE, learn when to leave these companies the fuck alone. Like, motherfuckers don't want to monopolize. Everyone wants to do their own shit.
I mean,
MLW is not the one though. It's
the whole deal.
It's WWE trying to fucking.
WWE even came back and talked about how MLW, how they had to send a cease and desist to MLW when they had Enzo, because he was using Enzo, like NZO as his name.
Yeah.
Then WWE sent that cease and desist, and they ended up changing it to Real One.
Real One.
Yeah. So there was that. The issue
understand.
over War Games, because Court had the War Games IP, but it was sort of a weird deal between, like, there's always been this little bit of weirdness between MLW and WWE over the past few years. So
yeah.
But I mean, if they had War Games, had they ever used it?
MLW, they have.
All right, well.
With my beef with that situation too is like after a certain amount of time, you're not really using Enzo footage or Enzo shit. Like, I don't understand why the fuck they would
like, you're not even bringing his name up.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't understand why they would stop him from using a similar name, even though technically it's not the same. Phonetically is the same, but not technically. So I would have just let him rock.
Well, at the end
I don't
of the day,
understand why
like,
WWE is being so fucking dumb.
Because he's on their library. So either way, like, if he went by another name and he still used it somewhere else, WWE has the right to sue the company for that.
Yeah, because that's the way they do their contract.
Video library.
He was known as Enzo here, so if you have him as Enzo there, no matter what type of Enzo it is,
even if you, like I said, again, you could try to change the name, make it feel like NWO type shit with the Z capitalized, but
yeah, that's what
everyone knows who the fuck he is because of that name. And that's why WWE had, I'm not going to say they had the right to go after them, but
I still find that shit stupid because at the end of the day, I've always felt like it's the wrestler who gets the bill.
And the main thing to think about with these things is oftentimes you can fight it in court and potentially beat them on it. The problem is most people don't have the resources to drag out a fight with WWE in court. So oftentimes they just let it die because it's like, yeah, I could really fight for this and be like, this is bullshit and prove my point, but I'm looking at a lot of money lost over doing that.
Yeah. I mean, Enzo could have just done a Ryback and fucking Warrior and just changed their fucking names.
All that, Enzo didn't even work there no more. He left.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The rumor was they fired him. Enzo said they didn't fire me. I had no contract. I left. So whatever you want to believe there.
I on some weird shit, I honestly believe Enzo.
The video he came out with, everything he said made sense. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
What was it? He did a
like
video.
He basically said there's no contract to. There was nothing to fire me from because I wasn't working with the contract. I was on a handshake. So and I disagreed with them and we decided we were done. So I mean, yeah, you can't fire a guy with no contract.
Yeah, because he's just freelancing at this point.
Yeah.
Let's talk about WrestleMania, shall we?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Submitted to the approval.
I do that shit.
So do it.
I thought you were gonna do your whole "Are you ready?" shit.
No, do your part, and then I'll say the other part.
All right. Well, submitted to the approval of the Ramblemania show. This is WrestleMania 39. Sells out.
With that being said, let's get ready to.
WrestleMania 39, the SoFi Arena in Inglewood, California. Shout out to the hood. They got WrestleMania. Shit.
Inglewood.
Sir.
Total what looked like fucking 15 matches because Miz has to do double duty on both nights, so we still got a grade either way. But we had some great moments. Before we even talk about the match, let's just talk about like everything else around Mania, like the stage, the crowd. Like, what did you guys think of that overall, and including like the commentary?
The stage was sexy. I like that old school kind of pillar look, mixed in with a little bit of Hollywood red carpet vibe. It was a beautiful stage. The atmosphere I feel like was incredible. When it comes to like the look, the vibe, and the feel of this Mania coming into it, it was one of the most pretty, nice, comfortable, beautiful looking WrestleManias I've seen in a long time. This felt like a good, clean Mania with a nice, beautiful stage, a nice, beautiful setup. We didn't complain because it was a giant LED screen. Everything was, I would say, fire to me.
Yeah.
Aesthetic wise, A1.
This stage had architecture. I think this is one of the best Mania stages they've ever done.
See what I'm saying?
I thought this was fucking great. Like it's kind of like the prior Hollywood shows they've done, Mania 21 and whatever SummerSlam that was, where they had those type of similar ideas with the stages, Hollywood, red carpet, those type of things, but on a massive scale. Like this was just the huge realization of those ideas. Like I like that they like if you're gonna put a bunch of screens everywhere, do creative things with them. Like I liked how on the stage screens they had all the movie posters with all the things they'd done, like Goodfellas, Bloodline, Joker, Seth, all that stuff. I thought all of that stuff was super cool, super, aesthetic, and a great way to show off that WWE when it comes to this big stage spectacle shit, they can't be touched.
Yep.
Stage was great. I mean, I think some of us were arguing on the fact that like, oh, Mania 33 stage was better, but no, this one, like, knock it out of the park. Like, if WWE ever brought back the Slammy Awards, you can cut this stage in half and just take half of the stage and put it there, and it will work so fucking well. Like, this wasn't even like this. I know this was basically like all movie based, but it didn't feel that way. This was more like Academy Awards, like, red carpet, next level type shit. Like this felt like more of an award show than a WrestleMania event because that stage made it feel like that way. That whole entire structure, they put in a lot of work on that. The crowd, indeed, they were fucking hot for everything here. And commentary, Michael Cole was great. Corey could go fuck off.
Always.
Well, I ain't even really pay attention to commentary.
No, Michael Cole was on here at this point. He was probably having the most fun at this Mania than all the other Manias because this was the first for him. This was he has commentated the most Manias in his WWE career. This was his 22nd WrestleMania commentary that he had to do. So it was pretty huge moment for him for that huge stepping stone.
The thing that I'll remember the most about Michael Cole this Mania is literally how the metaphorical wagtail, how he had that metaphorical wagtail the moment that fucking Pat McAfee came out.
Oh yeah, he was like, "Oh, that's my boy. Oh, let's go."
He was like, "Owner." He was like, "Owner, my owner's home. My owner's home. My owner's home."
He was so happy there. I
Little
like,
happy little puppy. The entrances, by the way, the entrances were only magnified by the stage. I think the only stage that I liked structure wise and the way it looked, like even like just close to like more. I wouldn't even say fully more, just at about the same level. Was when they did the one in New York where they had the Brooklyn Bridge and the
yeah,
Empire, not the Empire,
29.
the Empire State
That
Building
one
and
was
the
good.
that one was fire. I just like all the
That whole
stuff
show
and
was
it looked
bad
cool.
though.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like the stage. Like I liked how gorgeous that stage was.
If there's like one negative that I can say about the show, and me and TJ were talking about it Monday after Raw was done. No, actually, when you guys all left, there was not a lot of pyro. There was not a lot of pyro for the show. I think they only saved it for specific moments, like when Rhea won her championship. Like, you know how usually they would usually shoot pyro outside on the roofs of the arena and shit. They didn't do that here.
Yeah, where
And
they
so
do like
when they
legit
do all the
fireworks.
yeah, and all the time that, like, you were plugging all that filler, like you could have had the commentators talking, shooting pyro off and shit, just to make it feel like a spectacle. They didn't do that.
They
I
ain't
felt
got
like,
that much money
again,
to be shooting off pyro during the filler.
well, they should have
Right.
been doing all that shit throughout all the other fucking
A
manias
lot of
then.
filler.
The fuck, man. Like, that was the thing that killed me is like, and that's probably what's probably going to be the one thing that pissed me off about this whole fucking show was that there was just so much product placement everywhere. And, when we get to it, you're gonna hear why. All right, for everyone who is new here on the show, who is watching and listening to us for the first time, we grade these very differently from everyone else. One, who booked this shit. Two is a bad with two D's. Three is a good Booker T style with a T at the end. Four is a bars. Five is a
Good.
quote. And six and up is Meltzer shit, which is basically the best rating of all time. So, and we'll throw our random ratings here or there for ones that we just don't care about, which you'll probably hear later on. But let us begin with night one, opening up the show, not with Kevin Hart. We open up the show with Austin Theory defending the United States Championship against John Cena. The match was 11 minutes and 20 seconds. We're going to start with 6. We're going to start with TJ and then myself. So 6, ramble on, my friend.
This match was dookie. I mean, it wasn't the worst match ever, but there was no point to it. Like, they weren't trying to, like, the build to this shit was just like, let's shit on Austin Theory. And then when we finally got to the fucking match, it was cheap. There was a lot of like, I mean, there was a lot of like padding in this match. And then when we finally get to like the actual stuff that mattered, it didn't put over Theory anyway. There was no point to this match. It didn't go anywhere. Just Theory hit him in the nuts and then fucking game over. That was the end of the fucking match. The shit was ass. I'm gonna give this shit an absolute nout.
Boy, if you don't get this Hulk Hogan, Billy Kidman bullshit,
You
on
feel
my
me?
fucking face, dog. Like I've seen people saying that Theory sucks and he's bad, and that even John Cena putting him over didn't do anything for him. And it's like, how could it?
He didn't put him over. He shitted on him. Then he won
this
off
is the Hulk
bullshit.
Hogan definition of putting someone over, where you literally do not make them look good in the build-up. You don't make them look good in the match. You don't make them look good in the aftermath. You just lay down for the 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's all John Cena did. He buried Theory on the mic. Fucking the match was mad nothing. It was the first match on the card, so Cena could get the fuck out of here. And he took the L and he rolled out the ring and he left. Austin Theory was not put over by this. This was done. Who booked this?
Y'all getting angry like y'all watched the product. Y'all didn't see the product like how I saw it.
I'm not mad. I'm just saying, like, I was defending Theory low key just because it was like, I can't shit on him for this.
It was the whole idea was bad.
No, this was bad indeed. This was bad indeed because this is what happened. The minute Cena said his shit in his own hometown in Boston, the minute he buried this man, what happened? We didn't see this man till the day of Mania.
Yep.
He was like, he didn't show, like, they had Theory cutting promos. Bro, they literally, I think it was at the Go Home show of Raw that they literally had Theory cut a promo with nobody there. I'm like, yo, we're not going back to the COVID days again, are we? Because this is looking ridiculous. They're making this man look like an absolute joke.
Something
And
I
then
forgot to mention, by the way, before I forget, because my memory sucks. They did this shit after John Cena came out with the poor freaking kids, bro. Them kids came out here to see their hero win.
no, the whole thing was their wish was that they wanted to be at Mania. That whole wish was for them not to see
Fucking
Cena win. They wanted to
lost,
be at
bro.
Mania. So
I
they
know,
got
but
their wish.
come
They
on.
got their wish.
You know they were here for Cena. They're Cena. You could tell they were so
Bro,
happy to see Cena.
I mean,
And
yeah,
then Cena went out there and got his fucking ass whooped with his big old ball spot looking silly as fuck.
I mean,
Like,
look,
this nigga came out here with his ball spot going off, fucking
all I'm
barely
gonna say is
tan.
this.
He ain't give a fuck,
He was
bro.
pale as shit, bro. He didn't even look like he worked out that week, bro.
He
This is
did
what I'm
not
gonna
give
say.
a fuck, bro.
This ain't over. This ain't over between these two. We're gonna have another run back at SummerSlam. They're gonna run this shit back.
I don't want to see these niggas wrestle again unless
I don't want to see it either.
Theory puts
But
him through 45 tables and bloodies him
Facts.
up and
Facts.
But here's the
retires
thing.
him. It's the
But
only
here's the
thing that can
thing.
make it better.
Maybe they might turn that around.
I want some fucking GCW Matt Cardona version of Austin
Facts.
Theory.
They
Like
ever
the
wrestle
John
again,
Cena.
Theory gotta kill this man. Like, what you
Facts.
talking about?
And here's the thing.
Speaking of Matt Cardona,
The
did you
man-
see your boy?
With
Fonzie?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
ECW original right there.
Hell
That
yeah.
whole match was something. I mean, I can't really give it that much. They put the kid over, but at what cost? At what expense? Like what? Like how does this feel for Theory after he just beat, like, his idol, one of the biggest stars in WWE? It doesn't really feel like a huge goal because you got buried on the fucking mic and the man didn't show up weeks later.
And remember, he tapped. He tapped during that match. He tapped while the ref was out. How are you putting this man over?
Look, do I agree with the decision of him going over? Yes. Do I agree with what they did, with how they booked Theory to basically look like a chump, to get him over looking like a chump, getting buried in Cena's hometown? No, absolutely not. But if there's one thing that I've always said about Theory, no matter how many times they try to put this man down, he's always going to come back up, and he's always prevailed. Again, we talked about how he cashed in on the U.S. title, and people were talking about how it buried him. We said the same thing, and look what happened.
He could come back, but like, why?
How many times can you come back from?
Yeah, why does he keep having to come back from shit like this?
From bad fucking booking. Nothing he did. Nothing he did. He's been fucking killing it. He's been doing the best he can with what he's given.
I think this Mania just showed to me that, Triple H kind of had his back against the wall and he didn't know how to fucking get out of it. So he had to, come up with stupid ways that only his father-in-law could. The Street Profits versus Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders in a men's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, sponsored by TurboTax Intuit. The match was 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Go ahead, Six, ramble on.
This was all right. It had its spots. I wouldn't say it was like the best tag team match ever, but it was fun. I definitely enjoyed fucking watching Gable be a fucking beast for once. Fucking whooping Strowman's ass for like a good chunk of that match. I enjoyed Otis being Otis. Ricochet is one of the flippiest dudes on God's green earth, and Braun Strowman is a big, strong motherfucker. This was a showcase match, and it just showed off what we have here with the tag team competitors. Montez Ford, great fucking competitor. Street Profits are great competitors. This was all right. I mean, I wish they gave something better for these teams. I wish there was like a big story angle or something with the tag titles.
What do you mean? This is a story company.
They didn't give us good story for any of this shit.
Yeah, like this wasn't for.
But it's a story company.
This wasn't for like any sort of number one contendership.
This Triple H said,
"Yeah,
we make movies." He said that.
This was not a movie.
They would not put on a WrestleMania match without a story. That's not what I was told.
Is he out of his mind here? I mean, no, the Vince McMahon has said that plenty of times, so I can't really.
That's a Vince quote.
It's a fucking Vince quote. What the fuck am I talking about?
He just took Vince's quote. But you ready at 6?
Yeah. So not yet. So basically, I was gonna continue. The highlight of this match was like that big, like everybody gets in the ring and we're gonna do a big gimmick off the top rope, and That was like the big part of the show of that match where it was like all the competitors climbed up and got into that one corner, and then they did a giant super duper quintuple quadruple superplex, whatever the fuck it was. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. The big tower dome spot.
Yep, that gimmick, and then I mean that was pretty much it. Like there was nothing to me that like really stood out other than that. It was all right. I had a good time during this match. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't too mad at it. I just wish it had some story to it. I wish there was a reason why we were doing this. I wish, there was a belt behind it, even though they threw all the belts to the fucking bloodline. So now we have this situation where you kind of book yourself into a corner, and now the tag match doesn't really mean shit. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm just, it's not the worst match in the world. It was, like I said, it was a pretty entertaining match, but because there was nothing around it to get to this point, it just ended up falling a bit flat. So I'm just gonna give it I'll give it a three, not a, yeah, like
A solid good.
like a bad and a half, like almost a good, you know, almost a good.
I like this match. I thought it was
Mhm.
pretty fucking good. Um,
I
it
didn't say
was
it was bad.
it's exactly what it says on the tin, in
Yeah.
that it was a showcase match, and just here are 8 guys who are pretty good at things, and watch them do those things.
Mhm.
And Ricochet did awesome dives. Braun Strowman ran around the ring. The Viking Raiders got to be cool for once. Oh, every time
Yes.
I see them, I just see them having heatless ass matches, and they're not over, and they're not doing
Yeah.
anything. But they got to do something this time. They weren't over, but at least they got to do something. So that was cool.
Yep. Valhalla was there.
Yeah, she was there
Yes.
too, talking about some Valhalla. Chad Gable, like Six said, going off in this match. Like
Yep.
I feel like Tez and Ricochet were like the big stars of this match in terms
Yeah.
of their big spots and how they got the crowd popping. And like I low key, it just me as like a guy who only comes in month to month watching these matches with no investment in anything. I kind of wish more matches would be like this, where it's just guys coming in cold, cooking and doing something fun and getting the crowd sort of involved. Because I feel like with all the restrictions that are placed on you and the WWE system and all that, it's sort of hard if there is no story behind the match like this.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd often doesn't get into it, and you just end up with a nothing match. But because these guys had the opportunity to go out and go a little crazy, the crowd
Yeah.
ended up with it by the end,
Yeah.
and it ended up being fun. So yeah, I would like if more WWE matches were a little bit more like this. But
I'm the story guy, and everybody always complains that AEW doesn't have the storytelling that WWE does, and I'm like, tell me one compelling story angle that WWE's done outside of the Bloodline in the last 2 years.
oh yeah, like make no mistake, like a match with a compelling story is always going to be the match with no story, always, because that it adds elements to it. But if I'm as I don't care about the stories in WWE, so that's the best way I can put that. So I just want fun matches, and this was a fun match. So I'm going to give this a good and a half.
Oh damn!
Yeah, I like
Sheesh.
this match. That's why I
This
like.
match, this match wasn't bad. It's just I feel like it didn't need to be here. Like this match could have been on a Tuesday if that was the case, because this felt like an NXT match. Like this is something that you would put live on free TV instead of on WrestleMania, and that caught me off guard. I didn't hate it. The only reason why I could say I hated it the most was the product placement was everywhere here. We're talking in the corner post, on the ring skirts, even on the fucking LED boards. The product placement was there, and that just literally distracted me. Not only that, what made it worse, the product placement would show up on the right hand side of the corner of the screen, and it's just like, dude, we get it.
You
We get it.
probably could have put Cinnamon Toast Crunch Homie in this match.
Wait till we talk about that, because that gets worse. I was like,
That's a problem.
that was a fucking problem. Yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about that. But no, I'll admit that there was some cool shit here. Like Chad Gable was the fucking star. Dawkins shocked me the most here. Like, when Braun does his little stupid choo choo train trying to impersonate Thomas the Tankins and shit. It said, "Fuck you, my nigga. I'm a bullet train. I'm about to stop your locomotive ass." And he just pounced this motherfucker, sending him right to the barricade. I'm like, what?
Yeah, Dawkins was like real football shit.
Yeah,
What's up with
that's
it?
one thing that I was gonna say. Like we don't give Dawkins his flowers enough.
I gave him a
We
lot of
give
shit
Dawkins his
back then,
flowers all the
but now
goddamn
it's like
time.
he
Yeah,
progressed.
we,
I've been
me and
giving him his
you and I.
flowers
But
now.
I'm saying like within us, within our Ramblemania like little community,
Yeah.
we give Dawkins his flowers. But most of the people that are like casual fans or just fans in general who don't really, they're
That's
always
because
talking about Tez.
they're more into
Yep,
Montez
they're always
than
talking about
Dawkins.
Tez, and then it's like, yo, but Dawkins is great too. Like, get off Tez's dick, bro.
Like, let's try not to make fucking Dawkins the Genetti of the whole fucking group. He does his shit. He
Yeah,
knows
nah,
how to
he's
cook.
That's the
good. Yeah, he's
problem.
nowhere near Genetti.
It's WWE, so you expect one to be made a Genetti. So
Yeah.
that's why it's like that. Because people think, oh well, Tez is obviously going to be the Sean, so let's just gravitate toward Tez.
Hmm.
And
I mean, look.
they discard Dawkins.
Because this is the way that WWE books.
Viking Raiders felt like War Machine all over again here.
I wouldn't say all
You
that.
know,
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but they was cooking.
Braun
It was
Strowman
pretty good, yeah.
Braun can go fuck off.
He was good
Yeah.
in this match.
He was good.
He was good.
I mean, the Chaos Theory shit, that was great. But him on the top rope, no. Don't ever do it again. Don't do it again. Like, that's not meant for you. And like, out of all of them, like him and Ricochet are the most makeshift team. And it's like, okay,
But can't you see that's why he did it? Because Ricochet is his partner. He's like, this is the high flyer guy. I gotta do a high flyer.
I feel like it's a
move."
punishment though. After that stupid tweet that he wrote when he almost had that match in Saudi.
Well, sure.
I feel like that was a fucking punishment. Like, oh, you want to write stupid shit? Well, here's your punishment. You're gonna team up with a guy that does flippy shit.
Was it a punishment or was it all a work to begin with?
I think honestly it was a punishment.
I think it was work.
He never got his match with Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, so I'm thinking this was a punishment.
The fuck you mean he never got his match? Didn't he win a thing to get the match?
Yeah, and he never got it.
Okay.
So again, I'm thinking this. I'm going.
That means I watched that show for.
I'm going. What did I tell? This is why I'm going by punishment here. It just makes the most sense because he wants to write stupid shit online. You lose your big opportunity to face Gunther for the IC belt, and you're teaming up with Ricochet.
I think the stuff online was a work. To be
Katie,
honest,
I'm never watching SmackDown again. Don't ask me.
It can be a work because some people don't find that shit. Some people don't take that politely, bro. So I'm going to give, because the product placement ruined it and it was everywhere, I'm going to give the match it's a 2.5. This should have been on NXT instead of.
Yeah. I agree with you, Hazel. That's why I gave it what I gave it. I do feel like they could have. I don't know. I feel like they could have done something to make it, at least story wise.
And that was the thing too. Like this was like, look, I understand that you want to add more matches to Mania to make it feel like a huge showcase, but this and the women's tag match were the only ones that were basically highlighted at showcases. Like for that, you could have just said the showcase could have been on the kickoff.
That could have done that, and
they could have done that. Like it would have not had any problems. And
that's why I missed
done all the product placement on there.
That's why I missed Sunday Night Heat.
Well, look, they're trying to change their fucking format, and again, if your whole format is the guys on the kickoff panel doing their predictions, showing fucking package promos for all the big matches and shit, I get it. But if that's gonna be your whole show, then you might as well just stop the kickoff shit immediately.
That whole thing could go on YouTube, like
it could just be on the bump,
exactly, as a separate thing instead of it. I know, but like Hazel was explaining, like something like the bump. You feel me? Where it doesn't have to take up that entire intro beginning of the show. This is why I said I miss Sunday Night Heat and fucking Velocity, because we would have them doing shit before the pay-per-view, and that would really be like the intro to the show, and then you would go watch the actual show.
Yeah,
that was a better setup than what they have now, because the fact that we actually got to watch some matches that were actually kind of fun before the whole thing, got off, without taking time from fucking WrestleMania. And then they could have just, that's one thing. Stop being afraid of making it a shorter show. A shorter show you would actually benefit from. Am I lying here?
But here's the thing. Would you want the kickoff to be 2 hours like they did before? Because
that's what I'm saying. If they were like on Heat or on Velocity, where it's its own fucking show and they're doing their own fucking thing, and then we could watch that instead, and then have what you would call an actual kickoff, would be better than having what we have now as a kickoff. which is you'll get a whole bunch of predictions, a whole bunch of bullshit that you could have done outside of here, and
Yeah.
then you'll get like one last match or whatever, which is dumb. I would have it be the way they had Velocity and Heat, where we would just fucking watch that if you wanted to watch it, and it wouldn't affect what would go on actual Mania.
Seth freaking Rollins taking on Logan Paul, sponsored by Prime Energy Drink. The match was 16 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm gonna wait for this man to finish his rip so that he could begin. Go ahead, Six, ramble on.
Fight me, this shit was fun. I had a good time during this.
Oh, before you say anything, let me say this. Logan Paul is in the works of re-signing to WWE again. So I'm guessing because apparently his contract was supposed to end by August of 2024. He signed a 3-year deal. So I'm guessing he's re-signing for more money. And I'm guessing what it looks like they're going to add 2 more years onto his contract. So he'll be done by 2027.
All right, so let's start off from the beginning.
Okay.
All right, so this man comes down doing a bootleg Shawn Michaels entrance, but it was cool. I had fun watching his stupid ass glide down like a fucking move because they picked him up and then he glided down. With Shawn, I like better that, he was already up there and then he came down on some superhero shit. So he comes down and he does the whole gimmick, and I don't know, that to me hit a soft spot. I'm like, this guy, he knows. The prime placement everywhere was just funny to me. I didn't think about it as like, product placement. I thought about it as fucking Logan Paul. You know what I'm saying? I've heard some fucked up shit about him, so I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm just gonna talk about, who he is as a wrestling personality and who he is in our universe. Ew, I said that. Who he is in our bubble. Yeah, that's better. Our bubble. But basically that was all like, it's one of those things like when I saw the Guns come out with that song and that entrance, where it's like you start looking at them like, I think this guy kind of gets it. And that was one of those moments where I was like, yeah, Logan Paul definitely gets this shit. And he has little prime buddies and shit. And then you got Seth Rollins coming out looking like him. He looked like a mix between Jeff Jarrett and him. For those of you who don't know him, I would advise you to go watch some Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
And he came out here all sorts of crazy looking. It was just a giant fucking. He looked, the Hershey's Kiss rapper for like Valentine's Day.
He did come out looking like a big ass Hershey.
You feel me? Like, it was hilarious. So on with the match. The match was pretty decent. I mean, look at the athletes you got in this fucking match. You feel me? Logan Paul ain't no slouch. And Seth Rollins is Seth freaking Rollins. So they went out here. They killed it. They had an entertaining match. This sorry motherfucker in the prime costume. What's his name, TJ? You know him better.
KSI.
This motherfucker. KSI, bro. He was a cartoon character the whole time, though. Because even when he got caught, he was like, hey, wait. And then they whooped they put his ass through a table, which is kind of fun. That's the spot that, everybody will always remember. And that's one of those things that when Triple H says, we make, memories or whatever, or moments or whatever, that was one of those moments where I was just like, yep, only in fucking WrestleMania. I came to WrestleMania to fucking watch this stupid shit and get dragged into this nonsense.
It's moments like this, like, who really should have been under that prime bottle?
Who
should have been Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller is a great idea. That's actually great.
Because him and Logan Paul are douchebags. Grayson Waller is a viral gimmick.
Yeah. I feel like I said that, though.
You need to kill that.
I think I said some of the guys that I said were like Grayson Waller. I also said Drake Maverick, which I thought would have been a funny, being that they call, Logan Paul the Maverick.
Yeah.
So there were a few things where I was like, they can go for, do some stuff. But KSI is a good idea because, he and Logan Paul are the meme, and we are trying to get eyes on WrestleMania. So I understand it. Logan Paul said a little fucking crazy. He was jumping out here like he thought he was Rob Van Dam or some shit. The only thing I really hated about this match is Logan Paul's stupid ass GTS. That was the worst fucking GTS I've ever seen in my fucking life. It was absolutely ass, bro. I will never.
I think it was that bad. I just thought it was bad,
bro. It was what did I say on for Dynamite?
No,
Didn't I
sis,
say?
you know what I think it is? I think the camera angle that they, positioned the GTS on, I think it just made it look bad. Like if there was a different angle,
Man,
it probably would have looked badass. But there are certain
man,
camera angles where it's like that doesn't belong there.
man, that shit was ass.
He fucked the
PJ, you
drop.
agree with me?
He
And
fucked the drop.
listen,
And like in
look at me, look
whatever.
at me, look at me, look at me. A fucking reverse GTH by Sammy Guevara
Oh,
is
well,
a better GTS
then
than
Logan
that shit.
Paul.
But with all that being said, I actually
Okay.
like the match. It was a quick match. It didn't take up too much of our time. I didn't feel dumb at the end of it. I give it a good.
I thought this was good. This is very good. Logan Paul is obviously like a wrestling prodigy. He's very good given his lack of experience in this world. The Prime stuff made sense because it's his thing. So yeah, if you're gonna do like an advertisement thing in the match, then I think this is one of the good ways to do it because it plays into the match. It's one of the competitors' thing, and then they had the spot with KSI and all that, so that worked. And yeah, the fact that Logan Paul is willing, as someone who is, I guess, of celebrity status, to do the things that he does, the crazy table spots, to get in there and work, do drop downs, leapfrogs, all that shit. Like he can work. He can really work. And with Seth is one of the best workers in WWE. So it was always going to be at the very least a good match. And this breezed. This was easy. Nothing went wrong except that fucking GTS spot. And even that, I don't even feel like that went that wrong. It was just ugly. Ugly shit happens in wrestling.
Yeah, you know I'm being hard on it though.
Yeah. I know.
It's because of the fact people were talking shit about fucking CM Punk doing a goddamn fucking what do you call it? The buckshot lariat.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, but Logan Paul does it great." I'm like, I can tell you something he can't do great now.
Here's the thing,
a fucking GTS.
That's Punk's fault for botching the fucking buckshot lariat twice during his match with Hangman.
He fucked his foot on that shit.
No, that was him.
That's exactly why he should have never did it again. That's exactly why he should have never did this shit again.
He's just
like
old,
I said from jump. If I'm Tony Khan, after that first shitty ass GTS he did against John Silver on Dynamite, I'd have pulled him aside to the back, like, yeah, I get what you're doing. You telling a story here, but no more of that. You ain't doing that no more. you gonna tell a story with Hangman. You can do something else.
You mean buckshot?
What did
you
I
said
say?
GTS.
Yeah, GTS.
Yeah, buckshot. Yeah. So yeah, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm pulling Punk aside, like, yeah, you ain't doing the buckshot no more. You can do the dead eye if you want to do one of his moves, but no more of that. You trash at that. Sorry. But
that sassy mom. Was
like
everything
when have we ever seen CM Punk in his entire wrestling career do a flip other than a Hurricane Rana?
Do a flip.
He's done moonsaults.
I don't recall.
He's done moonsaults.
Yeah, man.
Probably in the IWA. Maybe his match with Chris Hero.
In WWE, he did it a few times.
In WWE, he's done moonsaults. Yeah.
I have never seen it. All right, well, let's get back to this match.
Go back and watch more Summer of Punk shit in WWE.
But this was good. I'll give this a high goods, in fact. High goods. Good match. Very good match.
Goods all around. Goods.
This was fun. This was fun indeed. And I like how the Royal Rumbles could obviously tell us, who's going against who at Mania. Because Logan Paul eliminated Seth Rollins. Logan Paul showed up in the Elimination Chamber in Montreal. Fucked his title match up to win the U.S. belt. So this was a pretty good build. This was a build that, I was pretty hyped up for because these two guys, I know they're worth still in the show. First of all, this man in the zip line, really great. But Seth Rollins with that orchestra, with just that one man, bro, it was like being at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yes.
And having the whole entire crowd with whatever fucking number they came up with, they were serenading this man's theme song, and it was with this man's outfit, though, bro. You're stealing shit from your wife's closet, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Not even Becky. Becky dresses up like a man.
I'm the fucking man.
There was even backstage footage before Seth came out and they were together in Gorilla, and she was like, "I'm so jealous. Damn, I'm jealous." Like, I'm the fucking man. Where's my fucking outfit? No, this match was on point. Besides like, KSI being in the fucking prime ball because him and Logan Paul started that shit. They started that energy drink. The only thing that caught me off guard was the commentators didn't have the drink with them, like right next to them on the booth. So I'm like, all right, cool. Spanish commentator table went through first, which is great. They did relive that old spot that Logan Paul did at Saudi, but instead of him holding the phone, they had KSI do it. So that was still a pretty good spot overall, just to get his reaction of him going through the table. That was spot on. I mean, this whole thing mainly was pretty fun. And, just for Logan Paul to get his views on his channel and shit, because that man needs his views. But money right now that Logan Paul and Vince McMahon exchanged checks before this motherfucker had his match. Because he had to give his money up for Prime while Vince had to give his money up to Paul. So it's like, oh, I lost money, I gained money. Oh, I lost this, but I gained this. So it just feels kind of like vice versa. I'm going to give the match it gets a 3.5. Very good match. Very good match. I mean, with Logan Paul probably re-signing, I'm going with the theory here that we might get him versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Might get him and Brock, because after this whole thing with Brock and Cody, Brock's going to be gone. And then Cody's going to start losing pay-per-view matches, doing the whole Cena run. And then next thing you know, he's going to actually divorce his wife, Brandy, and he loses custody of his fucking kid.
Okay, wow, what the hell?
That's what happened with Cena when he lost to The Rock. He beats Brock, and then all of a sudden he goes on a downward spiral.
Fake downward spiral. He ain't going to fucking downward spiral. Okay. He lost like 2 matches that whole year. Fuck out of here.
The 6-woman tag match. Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch, the women's tag team champions, taking on Damage Control. This was 14 minutes and 40 seconds. I think this was the first time that TJ walked out of this company like, fuck this shit.
I walked out this company years ago, bro.
But no, for this match, you walked out. For 6, go ahead, 6, ramble on.
Now don't get TJ, don't get mad at me. I'm gonna say it like this. This match was hella fun. Watching all of these legends like just fucking flying around like they were 15 was just great. I mean, seeing Lita up in that bitch, like as much as the controversy with Lita, at the same time, you remember all those good times and all the good spots and all the crazy shit that they had. And if you like the last match with all the flippy shit, this one had equally the amount of flippy shit. I had a great time. Fucking Bayley was great. Bayley was out here being the greatest heel of all time, fucking doing Trish's taunt, doing Lita's taunt, fucking around, dicking around, and being, as great as Bayley can be. And at the end of the day, like, I had fun watching this match. I would probably give this probably a good and a half, to be honest. It was a really good match.
You know what this match was?
Mhm.
This was a WrestleMania female version of that John Cena and Rock match when they took on Miz and R-Truth.
Oh, damn.
Where it was just like, we got the big guys together, we got a big team together, and now we just need bodies. So we coming
Survivor Series 2011, Madison Square Garden. They main evented. That was like, I was there.
Yeah, they just needed people, because like Damage Control felt so fucking interchangeable in this, and like obviously they did good things in this match because they're good talents, and they got to do things in playoff, and I think part of this was them giving Bayley one of her like dream matches in Trish and Lita and all that. I think this was that was part of why they put this together and why Damage Control was in it. But the structure of the match really just felt like it could have been Trish, Lita, and Becky versus any fucking body. Like the whole focus of the match was on what Trish and Lita could do and what Becky eventually could do. Like I never felt like, especially Dakota and Io, I never felt like Dakota and Io were major factors in this match. Bayley maybe a little bit because she got to do the taunting at the beginning and the face-offs and the back and forths and all that. But the other two felt like cronies. Then by the end, bro, I love Lita. I love Lita to death. I swear to God, I do. She was moving at like 2 miles per hour in this match.
Oh,
It was.
damn.
And when you're older, you're slower. It's fine. And Lita don't wrestle. She don't wrestle consistently. So it's not like I'm not trying to knock her for it, but like, I could not notice, especially because Trish looked good in there. Trish was moving. So when Trish got to do her spots and all her back and forth and everything, I was like, oh, okay, so she can. If Trish did a singles match tomorrow, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. If Lita did a singles match tomorrow, I'd be like,
nah,
I don't know about that.
Nah.
You know what it is? I feel like she got a bit blown up. You know, she hasn't wrestled in a while. She hasn't been active in a while. Trish is always in the gym. Every time you see Trish, she's always doing something athletic.
But also, didn't we hear that this was Lita's like second time wrestling at WrestleMania?
It could have been. I don't know. But again, there was just so many things about this match that made it feel like. And again, but you know what? I have seen some of this story. I have. Because again, the only parts of Raw I ever fucking watch
is
are
Bayley.
with Bayley on.
Bayley, yeah.
So I have seen some of this build.
Yeah,
and
this
even
build
then,
is weak.
Remember what I said at WrestleMania after the match? Every time I watch Damage Control on TV, they lose. Yeah. They just fucking lose.
I think
they're
that's just
losers.
Luck. That's your luck.
I know, because me and TJ were speaking about this, and I think we both agree on it. I think you could agree with us on this, Six. Triple H may know how to book a good women's division, but he doesn't know how to fucking book a good women's tag. He doesn't.
Yeah, I think he struggles with tags. Period.
Like, no, with the male tags, it's fine, but the females, no.
He has his moments. He has his moments
been up and down with men's tag team. Like but that's the thing. He's at least had those moments with the men where it's been really good. I haven't seen it with the women.
Nah.
This gets bad.
I like them. Listen,
this gets bad.
Well,
and that's the thing. Even in a bubble, I was like,
I enjoyed it. Damn.
But I feel you.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I feel you though.
Fuck it. I thought it was
good. Bayley's my fucking favorite, so you know I wanted to love this, but I couldn't.
Again, this is one of those moments where I can tell you the wrong team won. Like, what does this gain for Lita, for Trish, for Becky, when we know 2 out of those 3 women are not going to be around for a while? What does it gain?
See, that is true.
Damage Control could have gained so much momentum out of this because, again, TJ has said it, and he only watches the product to see Bayley, whether if it's cutting a promo or her having a match. They're always fucking losing. Remember when they lost the fucking finals in the tag tournament to Raquel and Aaliyah, of all fucking people? Just for them to win it at Clash at the Castle. And they kept losing and losing. The only time they win matches is if they book the fucking belts on free TV or on pay-per-views. Everything else, they're always losing. They had her lose multiple times against Becky Lynch, on those moments could have been absolute horse shit. There were moments where, Bayley could have walked out with the Raw Women's Championship against Bianca, but that was also bullshit. Again, I just didn't see what Triple H was trying to do with this fashion. I understand that he had a motive with what he was trying to do with Damage Control. He was trying to create a big female faction in the main roster because Damage Control Toxic Attraction was already getting popular in fucking NXT when Mandy was there. So they did this, and then you start booking them correctly, and then all of a sudden, the minute they start booking them correctly, now it's time to fucking water them down. This match they should have gotten this one here. I'm sorry, but I don't care if it's for nostalgic purposes. I don't care if Becky's teaming up with 2 legends. I don't care if you're the women's tag champs. Damage Control should have gotten the win here. It's absolute horseshit that this is how it had to be. It did not need to be this way.
Definitely, by that logic, to be honest, you're right. Like the fact that these women they're just legends and they're not going to be around. They could have built stars instead of like putting them down, and this could have been a great moment for Damage Control, and they buried it. But then if you think about all the shit that, that has been speculated where they're saying that they might split them apart. I mean, at the end of the day, I kind of understand because they're saying that that whole gimmick where Bailey was like bye or whatever is basically her leaving the crew. So I don't know.
I
And you
mean,
didn't see her on Raw. You didn't see her on Raw at
no,
all.
yeah, and she was on Instagram. I think what hours before Raw, she was plugging the Raw after Mania, thinking like she was gonna be there, but she wasn't. It was only Io and Dakota, and they had a
Yep.
tag match against Liv and Raquel, and guess what? They fucking lost.
Yep.
And now
Yep.
they're facing
And Bailey was nowhere to be found.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So at this point, like, I get that when Triple H was taking the reins, when he was finishing up Vince's booking at SummerSlam, and he had to add his little twist and shit. When he brought when Bailey came back, when he brought in Io from NXT, when he brought back Dakota from being released, we thought we were gonna have something magical here. But again, it was after the finals of the tournament that literally told me I'm seeing the writing on the wall here, and that writing is they're not gonna last that long because they're just gonna be losing nonstop. And I get that, yeah, you gotta have a fucking heel faction that loses, but not one that's on TV every fucking week. Nah, I'm sorry. Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio in a singles match, sponsored by Cinemoji Toast Crunch, and it's part of a complete breakfast. This was 14 minutes and 55 seconds.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Let me get ready to talk about this match record going on.
We do not need to spend 5 minutes on the fucking emojis.
We're doing this show for a reason, right?
Listen,
But we still don't need to spend
Listen.
5 minutes on them shit.
Fuck the emojis.
Talk about them. Go ahead, but you guys.
Listen, fuck the emojis. This is what I'm gonna talk about. Let me do this right quick. Hayes, are you ready? Take a hit.
I already survived it, nigga.
You're not taking 50 hours on this match either. Come on.
Are we really going to talk about how we open up the package with a concentration camp?
You still got night 2.
Shh.
Oh yeah.
Let's take it back, right?
Not that far back.
Early 90s.
No.
Chilling on the block. Chilling on the block. Back when I used to live on 192nd on Wadsworth Ave. Hearing this song, and then we're gonna bring it all the way back to now. And hearing this song.
Oh man.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Rey Mysterio's at your door. Man, this entrance. God damn, son. You want to talk about a badass entrance? Coming out to Ain't Nothing But a G Thing in a lowrider with Snoop Dogg and then remixing it with Viva la Raza? Are you fucking kidding me? Rey Mysterio fucking Jr., you fucking beautiful goat, you great motherfucker, you beautiful motherfucker, you. This was one of my favorite entrances of all fucking time right here. I've never seen anything like this. This shit gave me every type of feel back to back to back. And he came, even though he said his mask was inspired by who the fuck? Certain superheroes, I think Deadpool and who else?
They said Deadpool and fucking Daredevil, which is bullshit.
Get that shit out of here. This man looked like the Great Muta. And I was like, this entrance is the most fucking fire entrance, bro.
6, they even said, oh, the mask is not inspired by the Great Muta. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
He looked like the Great Muta. And I'm seeing this entrance and I fell in love with this entrance. I thought nothing could ever be cooler than this entrance right here. And then the guns came out. But this right here, bro, I fucking lost my fucking mind watching this shit, man. Then Dom comes out, fucking little baby Goldberg and shit. And then they come out here and they proceed to have what I call a nice, beautiful father versus son feud match. Dominic Mysterio was a little fucking prick.
Yep.
Fuck him. But he was great at doing it. Supposedly, that thing where he spilled the drink on his sister was a shoot. Like, not a shoot as in like he did it because fuck his sister, but a shoot as in she didn't know he was gonna do that.
Had to
But
call an audible.
yeah, but this match was great.
I'd do it to my
Man,
sister too.
you want to you want to talk about comeuppance, man? This match was all about it. The story from there to here, how we got here, Rey Mysterio finally whooping this little motherfucker's ass, Benito getting involved. God bless Benito. Benito is a fucking goat. Of course, these little dickheads getting involved, the LWO getting involved. This match was hella fucking fun. I went absolutely crazy. You want to know what fucked up this blood feud for me, though? Presented
Go
to
for
you
it.
by Sit Emoji Toast Crunch.
Part of
Get
a
that
complete
shit
breakfast.
the fuck out of here, me. During a blood feud, my man. Look, at first Hazel was complaining about all the gimmicks, and I'm like, bro, just let them get their bread. Let them get their bread. But this shit right here was corny as fuck, bro. During this match, really, to make shit worse, I think I know what you're about to say. To make shit worse, they give Rey Mysterio a motherfucking Cinemoji graphic for his fucking name. What the fuck?
And then the same thing with the Fatal 4-Way. It's everywhere.
Oh,
on the ring
God.
skirts, on the corner posts, on the fucking LED posts. Like, yo, get the fuck out of here.
Bro, on the fucking barricade, my man. The barricade.
I'm a mess. If I really wanted to watch a match that was very Saturday morning cartoonish, I watched Saturday Morning Slam with my Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Not this shit.
No.
Not this shit.
It's a blood feud. We want to watch freaking amazing shit, bro. But to me, this is where WrestleMania started to pick up. After this, I felt like, all right, now we going up. And night one of WrestleMania, this is where it started to feel really, really good after this match. I'm going to give this match a solid bars.
I thought that this was excellent. And probably in terms of like, you know, what the actual stories were, or what I could gather from what all the stories were, this and the main event of this night were probably like the best worked and paid off stories throughout the whole fucking situation. Because this one was simple: father versus son. Son's being a shithead. Father got to finally put him in place. Like the video package, it did its job of showing you what was going on. So you had that. Like, it's something that you can connect to as just a human being. It's one of those where like WWE can say we make movies, and like that's one of the ones where you can buy it. You can buy into it.
Yeah.
Like this is a classic movie plot and a classic payoff.
It's a Netflix series.
Yeah, this is exactly what this could be. So the entrances were great. The everything throughout was great. Dom fucking with his mom and his sister, and then again, I like that Ray is generally like, man, you my boy. I'm putting you in place because I have to. But when he fucks with his mom or his sister, that's when Ray is like, all right, you want to act stupid? I'ma fuck you up now. I do like that a lot. That's good. That's good parenting.
Yes.
But yeah, all the run-ins made sense and were good. Bad Bunny and like we talked about, potentially setting up that backlash match.
Dom versus him.
Yeah,
is Dom and Damian Priest taking on Ray and Bad Bunny.
So yeah, everything that you wanted and expected out of the storyline, everything that you were invested in as far as the storyline's progression goes, was paid off in this match, and he did a very good job. Ray's a legend. He's one of the best ever. Most important luchador in North American history. And it's like I was talking about with Dave when, you know, he was watching Dynamite. Maybe all Dom needed was some time and some focus to do the right things.
Yep.
Because he got in here with his dad, and even before he wrestled his dad, because I mean, truth be told, wrestling Rey Mysterio is the easy part in this scenario. But in his entrance and everything else, like he looked the part, he felt the part, like he's good. He's there.
It's a heel.
So I'm gonna give this a high good. Very, very good stuff.
So, this is quite possibly the only match that I could say that had the best story, because we're talking about a story that's been going on since Clash of the Castle, since the official turn happened. And this story has built up. Yeah, it has added a little filler here or there because, they had to deal with the OC, and then they had to deal with Edge, and then, they were doing their little storylines with Ray on SmackDown whenever they needed him. Like, for instance, they had to fucking race cars on, what was it, Christmas and shit, which was, like, stupid as hell, but at least we know that this wasn't going anywhere. We were going to lead to something. And I kept saying every week that we were on fucking Raw. Whenever Dominic or Ray would show up, or they're in the ring together, like, let's go. Let's get this match already. We got to do it, right? Like, we've been plugging this shit for a hot minute. We've been plugging this shit for a while. They have not wrestled any pay-per-views together. They have not touched each other for a hot minute. When we going to do this? Mania, right? So let's do it. Every week, they haven't plugged it. So I will watch SmackDown because Dominic's showing up on SmackDown now. So they got to plug this shit. So I got to be like, all right, plug this shit. Let's go. Plug it. It took them, like, what? The week before the go-home show to finally make this match official. I'm like, all right, cool. Best entrances throughout both nights. They got the best entrances overall. My thing with Ray was, instead of having Ray's theme, I think he should have had the LWO theme since he brought it into WWE.
La Raza.
Because you're in a fucking lowrider with Snoop. And I get it, the light cheating steel thing, because you want to represent Eddie. But again, that's still exploiting that man, bro. Like, let it go.
I don't think it's exploding.
I
think it's him shouting out his friend.
That is too, but I'm gonna let that slide. Dominic had the greatest entrance ever. First of all, there were little inconsistencies there. We are in LA. Where the fuck did they come from bringing in a Rikers Island paddy wagon into LA, son? Like, that shit was weird. It was weird as hell. Second of all, the disrespect that this man did, coming out to a modified version of his father's old match from when he wrestled Eddie in Halloween Havoc. This is my theory, and this is probably going to be Ray's last match in WWE. One more match with his son. The mask gets hung up, and we get a ladder. Whoever wins gets to keep the mask. Like, Ray gets to keep his mask on. If Dominic wins, he has to pass the torch on to his son. Because let me tell you right now, when he had that mask on, I was looking at a tall Rey Mysterio.
This is all I have to say. I kind of like that idea, but I also would say that I wouldn't do the whole it sounds like a little on the rope thing or on a pole, and I don't like those. So I would.
I'm saying ladder.
Bro,
I'm not
like
saying
poles,
on a pole. What
I don't like any of that shit. I don't like any
words in my mouth. I never said pole. I said ladder. I said hang the mask up and and get a ladder.
I don't like any of those,
bro. When you gotta climb something, bro, let me tell you, bro.
I mean, I'm saying it because
I would just have a regular. I would have a regular, for the mask match, like they do in Mexico, where if you lose your mask, you got to take it off, type of deal, and then we'll have Dom pick it up and have it be like a story thing where, like, now I'm the new king.
This match, though, I really enjoy. I mean, I like the fact that the family was getting involved, and yeah, I did. I will say it did feel kind of shooty that Aaliyah had to get water thrown at her. I was like, oh, okay, this is getting a little personal now. But when that man took the belt off and he started whipping his son's ass, I'm like, please stop having us relive our childhoods. Because goddamn, I know we were bad once, but shit, getting your ass whipped by your father in front of hundreds of thousands of people, oh, that has to be the most embarrassing moment. And you're like 21. This match was great. It was awesome. Again, no more of this. That Cinemoji shit literally bothered me. Nah. It bothered the fuck out. The fucking mascot was there. Rey Mysterio got his own name template of that shit. It was everywhere, and I was just like, bro. I get that this is a father-son moment, but does a father-son moment that's been a blood feud for a hot minute really need breakfast cereal in their fucking match? Like, this was bad. I was literally gonna give this match a go, but because of the product placement, it ruined it. So it's going to get a 4.5. This match was great. It was so amazing. I enjoyed it. Yeah, minus all the fuckery and shit with Judgment Day and Bad Bunny. I really enjoyed the heck out of it. And
You didn't act like it during the goddamn reactions, though.
yeah, well, that's different. When you have product placement and you got no sleep and work 20 hours, so
He was hella mad. He was
Yeah.
hella salty.
That
and
was
again,
fine.
I'm not gonna get mad that Ray won here because this rivalry is still not over because now we're gonna get more of the Judgment Day involved. And now Bad Bunny's gonna be in the mix. So again,
Baby.
this rivalry will possibly end at SummerSlam. Like we're gonna probably see it end there because, and we got to start doing stuff with the LWO because what the hell?
They were supposed to do something on Raw, but
they
fucking
didn't.
Vince,
Nah, pal.
Vince,
No, pal.
motherfucker,
No.
old motherfucker.
Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This was 23 minutes and 35 seconds. 6, ramble on.
This is mine. This is mine. You want to know my opinion on this match? How long you said it was?
This was the longest women's match in WrestleMania history. It was 23 minutes and 35 seconds. Before you say anything, too, this was the first WrestleMania to have all women all together in history. A female ref, a female ring announcer, and 2 female wrestlers competing.
Yeah.
So that was a historic moment.
About the beginning of this match. The beginning of this match literally felt like the amount of time you said. This match felt double fucking long, bro. This shit fucking, it was stretching, bro. The beginning of the match was hella slow.
Well, you got like
slow.
TJ said, you gotta let that shit cook, and they were trying to cook.
I was feeling like more like a John Cena match than a goddamn Okada match during.
Oh damn, son!
I was like, yo, this shit dragging. Then they started fucking cooking, and it's one of those moments where I was just thinking about TJ in my head, talking about, hey,
let it cook,
let them cook. And they got to it, and once they got to it, fucking Charlotte Flair forgot she was human and started throwing her fucking body around like she was Shawn Michaels. She was bumping heavy for that girl, man. She made Rhea look like $1 billion, man. And Rhea ain't no slouch either. She went out there and had probably, to me, one of the best matches I've ever seen her have. So, what the hell? So,
He muted himself.
Got you. I can't say a damn thing bad about this other than the beginning of this match fucking drained. But all in all, Rhea Ripley finally got her shining moment. I was so happy. She did amazing. Fucking Charlotte Flair killed herself. I'm going to give this also solid bars.
This match was slow in the beginning, but I didn't even have a problem with that because it made sense to me following the Ray and Dom match because Ray and Dom had so much heat. They were so over.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, yeah, you start slower with the next match because the crowd needs a little bit of time to recover and everything, especially because it's fucking WWE and WrestleMania and there's a bunch of filler between every match anyway. So let everybody get themselves together and build it up. And by the time, like you said, they reached that point where they started cooking and Charlotte Flair decided to start bumping her ass off. Like, yo, there's some weird ass WWE fans out there that got this weird hate for Charlotte. And I guess it's just based off the fact that she wins titles all the time. But it's like I always say, that's not her fucking fault. Like, she don't book herself. It's the company.
Did you hear about the Flair thing?
What?
Flair was apparently upset that they had Kevin Owens and Sammy main event the night.
Who cared what that nigga think?
Who fucking cares?
Wait. He said that them girls cooked. and they would have been a better main event. But to be honest, I feel like
Sami Zayn is like the most overdue in his company.
yes,
Of course, he was good. He should have
yes,
main evented.
yes. To be honest, he should have been in the title match to me, but
He should have been in a world title match.
that's what
Truth
I'm
be told,
saying.
Sami
We all
Zayn
said
should
that.
have been
At
facing
the end of
Roman
the
on this
day,
show, but
yep,
he was where he was, so
yep,
that was going to be the main event.
yep. And to be honest, there was a point to it, and that's that match was gonna be one that was heartfelt. And yeah, they were a great wrestling match. They had a decent story. But this is the big story angle. This is the big story match. Like Flair, I love you, man. You're one of the greatest of all time. But man, if there
Shut the
ain't that
fuck up.
fucking nepotism in your heart when you speaking about that match, man. And I know to you probably no, I'm being as honest as I can be. Flair, I believe you in your mind. But I can see the nepotism in that just by the fact that fucking Sami Zayn is the most over person in the entire company right now.
They already got her gonna passing your record, bro. Like, stop it. So yeah, and I assume that's a part of the reason why there's this weird ass hatred toward Charlotte, because people are always talking shit about her and casting aspersions on who she is as a human being when they don't fucking know who she is. But it's like, I even saw it on Twitter coming into this match. Like, Charlotte came out and it was like, oh, well, she got the face on. You know how someone has on the losing face and she's not going to. And, they tried to make it seem like she was going to undermine Rhea. Hell no. She went out there and fucking dumped herself on her noggin, fucking did a whole bunch of crazy, took a whole bunch of
Busted her
crazy
nose. Remember her
busted
nose
her
was all
nose.
fucked up.
Her and Rhea threw at each other, did a bunch of great shit. Like, she did everything she could to make Rhea look great and to put on a great performance.
Mhm.
And like, yeah, there was the part after the match where she's sitting on the outside and she's laughing like she always does when she loses. But it's like, why the camera keep shooting her?
Yeah.
The camera kept fucking shooting her. So like, again, I'm not gonna blame her for doing this. I'm gonna blame the people that's booking,
Yeah.
because I could do other shit, and I've been saying this. You can do so much other shit with Charlotte. You can do storylines with Charlotte. She's a very talented wrestler, but
Yep.
all they do is have her win titles and lose titles and go back and forth with that shit. But at least this was an instance where they righted a wrong, so to speak.
They've
They-
turned
they-
her a bit into like female John Cena.
Yeah,
So I'm kind of glad they actually fixed that.
yeah. But it's good that Rhea got her get back and she got her win. And if it did this, unlike the opener, this felt like a match where someone was elevated in victory.
Mhm.
Rhea felt like she got over a hump in beating Charlotte and like she's advanced to another level now. So in that, I will praise it and give it a high goods.
Now, my thing was this. Despite the match being great, did have a weak build. Who the fuck was I supposed to cheer for here?
I didn't know either.
I get why you say that. I get why you say that. I
out.
get why you say that.
Rhea Ripley is a heel in the Judgment Day.
Mhm.
Charlotte is apparently a babyface who is still playing the fucking heel. Who the fuck am I supposed to cheer for?
I'm gonna tell you
the one that's actually a heel, or the one that we all know is still being the heel.
I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. Like, they did this shit to crown Rhea.
I know they did, but yo,
This is not about like, oh, because to us, I think they know that we know about how over Rhea is. Like, you go on the internet and Rhea is fucking through the roof over.
yes,
You feel me? While they know the same thing TJ was talking about, that kind of vibe that we get from, unfortunately, from Charlotte. So during this case, yeah, it was still technically babyface versus heel, but the dynamics were flipped, similar to like a Bret Hart, Steve Austin thing. The only thing that bothers me about this is that they didn't go with it and then turn Rhea babyface throughout the match and turn Charlotte heel, do the double turn.
no, because then you'd have to turn the entire Judgment Day babyface, and that wouldn't make any
No,
fucking
you just
sense.
you get Rhea the fuck out of there.
That still wouldn't make any damn sense.
Or you could play with it, like
Yeah,
just
can
have
play
her be
with
a
it.
face in the heel faction,
In the
then
heel
bring that
faction,
to a head
yeah.
eventually.
Yep.
Yeah, bring that to a head.
And then eventually then you continue to build with it. But they did what they
can
did.
honestly say that Rhea Ripley literally finished her story here. This was 3 years in the making. Like,
Look at all these people finishing the story.
Finishing the story, but guess who can't? Put me in the sim.
nigga, because this whole storyline was this is what this was. Rhea Ripley is technically a star in WWE, while Charlotte Flair was the superstar. You know, her last name, all these championships, she's everywhere. So, in order for Rhea Ripley to grab that mantle of becoming a superstar, she needs to beat the legitimate superstar. Why not beat the person that beat you 3 years ago when there was no crowd? This was the right decision. This was the right decision indeed, because ever since they took Rhea away from the whole tag team shit and they put her in Judgment Day, I feel like this was the turnaround that she needed so much of. Because she was falling out in the tag division no matter how many times you put her with Nikki as a fucking superhero after, you know, her first Raw Women's Championship reign, getting Nikki and Charlotte involved. I think this one just basically erased all of that and neuralized the fuck out of everything she had to go through just for her to progress and evolve going forward now as the SmackDown Women's Champion. Because now she has become a fucking superstar. This match honestly was the toughest match of Rhea Ripley's career. Probably so one of Charlotte Flair's best Mania matches ever. The worst one I'll still say is the triple threat between Becky and Ronda. I'll put that on because that was the worst one. But this one, like, out of all the matches that Charlotte had, I think this one was way better. Probably her best one in her fucking run so far. I'm going to give this match a 4.5. It gets a high bars. This match was great. It was amazing and pretty historic once again for having nothing but all women in the ring at the same time.
Oh yeah, Jessica Carr.
Now, again, I did complain on the fact that, yeah, Rhea won the Rumble. She should main event Mania because that's what you fucking advertise, you fucking idiots. But I get that there was more of a big match feel going forward in something else.
That was one of Flair's gripes too, by the way. He was saying,
yeah, I like that was one of
why get rid of tradition.
I will say though, if Rhea and Charlotte would have main evented, it probably wouldn't have gone well for them.
It probably would have.
That means that Kevin, Sammy versus the Usos would have gone before it. And as we're going to talk about, the crowd was way up for that shit. So they would have been dead for anything that goes after that.
Yep.
But before we talk about that, we had some random bullshit take place besides advertisements and filler. The Miz and Snoop Dogg are in the middle of the ring. First of all, here's my thing. When did they even announce Snoop Dogg as the co-host of Mania? Because I only heard The Miz was hosting. I didn't hear nothing about Snoop.
You are asking the wrong people.
We don't watch this.
Well, I'm asking
you would have the most knowledge out of any of us about that.
I'm asking them. Okay, I know you guys don't watch it, but that was literally out of nowhere.
He's asking the fans.
While they're announcing this fake ass attendance number that they randomly came up with, apparently The Miz decided to issue an open challenge, and no one answered his text messages. Liar, you just did not want to face Katsuyori Shibata, didn't you?
Shibata texted back like, "I will do it."
No, it's okay. No, it's okay.
For everyone to be the returning Pat McAfee, and what a perfect time for Michael Cole to have his erection out for his best friend. Corey Graves is saying that like, you motherfucker still in my gimmick.
I'm gonna tell you what Michael Cole did.
He was happy.
Michael Cole got up and said, "Here's the mail. It never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to yell, man." That's what Michael Cole did.
So we have this match: Pat McAfee versus The Miz. 3 minutes, 40 seconds. Before the match even took place, Michael Cole botched on live commentary and said, "Oh, there's one other person besides me that's undefeated at WrestleMania." He lost to Vince McMahon, though. It's still in the record books. So he's not undefeated.
Last year.
Yeah, so fuck, Cole.
The hell, Michael? You didn't even remember last year.
Foot, mouth.
Go ahead, 6.
Oh, we're fucking no. I don't care about that shit.
Or we're not reviewing. Skip.
What are you talking about? We're not reviewing this.
Yes.
Skip.
Skip.
What can I say about this?
Skip.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is a great little scamp. He was a little evil little dickhead the whole fucking 2 nights of SmackDown of WrestleMania.
Right, this ain't even the filler that's worth talking about. The filler that's worth talking about is night 2.
Yeah, night
Oh
2 was
yeah,
better.
after the fucking Hell in a Cell
When
match.
Shane McMahon killed himself.
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
this is the regular bullshit filler.
Yeah, this is all right. All right. It was trash.
All right, well,
Listen, Pat McAfee cool, but skip.
main event of night 1. For the first time ever, the tag team championships are main eventing. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in their PWG Super Dragon outfits, representing that Reseda shit. Michael Cole mentioning PWG and Reseda a couple of times there. Taking on the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, the Usos. This match was 24 minutes and 15 seconds. Go ahead, Six. Ramble on.
If it wasn't for PWG and Super Dragon, we would not be here.
That's a fact.
And Mark and Jay Briscoe.
That's a fact.
This shit was fucking incredible. You had 2 guys who in the independent scene were like the absolute best, and 2 guys that in WWE have been one of the greatest tag teams in the last maybe 10 years or so. Like WWE, they build off of basically New Day and the Usos. Like without them, there is no tag division in WWE, bro. So watching this match to me was like a little bit of a dream come true. Seeing Sami Zayn finally getting to main event at a Mania, and at the same time, it was like the culmination of all this stuff we've had going on with the bloodline and Sammy and putting him through all this torture and pain and bullshit. And Kevin Owens finally coming back and being his friend again and, trying to, I guess, do his best. You know what I'm saying? In a match where, like, it was all the Kevin Steen, let's call him Kevin Steen, did a fucking, what was it, like a moonsault off the fucking top to the outside or some shit.
Yeah.
And then he did a frog splash off of the fucking apron like a nut. Golly, Sami Zayn was full of fucking fire in this match as well. Just left, right, and center, haluva kicks and fucking Blue Thunder bombs and all of the above. The Usos, we don't have to say shit about no Usos. Them motherfuckers speak for themselves. Their track record is amazing. I fucking love this match, but I'm not gonna act like there wasn't something looming over my head that made me feel like, yo, fuck this match. And it's the fact that I wanted Sami Zayn going for one of the belts. I honestly think that what they should have done is made that Elimination Chamber match to go for one of the belts. And that would force Cody to have to pick one of the belts. And I would have had Sammy win one. Being that what was going to happen ended up happening anyways. Put me in the sim.
This nigga Cody sucks.
So being that what was going to happen anyways, I would have had the crowd go home happy and have Sami Zayn win that world title. But they don't think the way I do. They did it this way. The story continues, as they say. So, I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted. I want to give this like basically a GOAT, but I can't. And it's because in the back of my head, I'm always gonna say it should have been Sammy versus Roman. So I'm going to give it the highest of bars. It is a 4.9. And it's only because what I wanted versus what I got was It's gonna bother me
Completely
forever.
different.
It's gonna bother me forever. It's gonna bother me forever.
Well,
It is what it is.
well, if you won't goat these boys up, I will. Shit, this was a wonderful PWG tribute. This was basically, I said it last week. This was basically Steen Erico versus the Young Bucks. Guerrilla warfare, almost practically. This is Steen Erico and the Briscoes. This was a love letter to that era of wrestling,
Mhm.
and the
You
guys
mean
that came
Steen
out of those
Zane, right?
eras.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Steen Erico. Listen, I know it's not the same guy. I'm just saying that Sammy was in there throwing a lot of love, doing a lot of tribute work. Generico. Part of El Generico was played by Sami Zayn. Not the same person, but he was playing a role.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But just all the classic,
And by the way, I hope you understand that I'm not like I'm not going against you on that. You feel me? Like
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I agree with that fully and 100%. But I also can't deny that I wasn't feeling a little down about it.
Nah, I know. I feel you. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people that feel that way, and that you could have done, gone even bigger with Sammy than you did here, because this is good, this is big, but you could have gone even bigger because the opportunity was there. But I mean, I guess the way I'm looking at it is just it wasn't gonna happen in this universe. They are who they are. They do what they do. So I'm not disappointed because I don't have that expectation. And what I do have and what I did get was this match, and this match made me happy. Like, to see Kevin and Sammy get their due, to see a tag team match for the tag team titles, main event WrestleMania, and it's not even like it's like what you would think, in that it's like a bunch of singles guys or whatever with big star power. It's a tag team match. Like, Kevin and Sammy came together as a tag team up against the best tag team WWE has, and had a tag team tribute match in the main event of WrestleMania. Yeah, Vince McMahon ain't run this show.
No,
Not this one.
not this
Sure,
one.
not this one. Maybe the next one, but not this one. Because ain't no way. But just I thought it was fantastic. I love this so much. I love that even on this stage, Kev and Sammy are gonna put that respect on those guys like Super Dragon and like the Young Bucks. I know a lot of y'all don't like hearing that, but best believe that the Usos were playing the parts of the Young Bucks in this match.
And they were doing a great job at that.
They did a fantastic job at it. They did a
Fuck outta
fantastic
here.
job.
To be honest, I'd liked them better than I would have liked a lot of Young Buck shit. So fight me.
I mean, listen, I like I said, we're gonna start acknowledging that these niggas are a lot of these niggas are the Young Bucks sons. We're gonna start acknowledging that. But that's not. I'm not trying to take away from the Usos at all. The Usos are fucking fantastic. They're everything from what they've done even before they turned heel and they were just having good matches. But after they turned heel and got their gimmicks and characters together, they have been one of the best acts in WWE, period, hands down. So they're their own tag team and they're wonderful. Like, I'm not saying that to, try to denigrate the Usos or anything, but I'm just saying, Kevin and Sammy came up wrestling the Young Bucks a lot. They did a lot of classic matches with the Young Bucks. And this match invoked a lot of that. And for all that, for everything they did here, I'm giving them a GOAT.
So I want to remind you guys that this was also sponsored by TurboTax.
Do your taxes. Do them taxes.
Get your money.
Get your paper.
All right. I'll bring night one home so that we can move forward here. This match was absolutely meaningful, but there's one negative about it. This story ain't over. This shit is far from over.
Damn.
You know that this is the point now where the Usos are most likely going to be leaving the bloodline. And let's get. And
did you watch SmackDown?
Yes, I did. I see
where they had the moment.
It's going to be the moment that Jay's going to be the one that's like going to be going to be the first person to leave the bloodline. But hear me on this.
But look what happened with Jay though. Look what happened with Jay, where he came out, right? And we thought for a second that he was going to be like, no, don't touch fucking Sammy. Are you fucking crazy? And he didn't. He said, let's do this shit my way. And he
Yep.
started beating on him himself. So it's like, I don't know. And then they jumped both of them. They jumped at least Kevin Steen, they jumped him in the backstage and shit. And they Solo did, fucked him up, left him crazy, left him for dead. And then fucking Sammy had to go out there and fend for himself.
You think that
So,
this was the original plan that they were doing when they were starting this bloodline shit?
hell no. Fuck no. Hell no.
No, because remember,
This was an organic situation. Sammy was just supposed to be like fucking comedy fodder to the whole group being serious all the time. So that's all Sammy was supposed to do. And eventually they were just gonna clip him and get him out of there. But because the fact that he got over to the point where people wanted to see him as champion, that's when they had to call an audible and change it. Because I know for damn sure this was never in the plans.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'll still watch SmackDown and see where this goes because this is the only thing that's interesting right now that's on SmackDown for 2 hours.
That's the only thing interesting in this entire fucking company. What the fuck are you talking
Let
about?
me say this. I'm gonna give the Usos their flowers here. It went from not being on the kickoff card to being on the kickoff card to not being on the main card to now being on it to finally now main eventing WrestleMania. Give these motherfuckers their flowers. This is not because of the storyline. It's because of all the hard work that they've been putting in WWE. Like, you want to talk about being loyal to your workplace? These guys have been loyal since day one. Since they got in that door. And they've gotten opportunity after opportunity. And here they are closing out night one. This was amazing. And they deserved their fucking flowers for this. Negative is they had little Uzi Vert opening up for them, which was like, bleh.
Nah, that shit was great. I was mad because Dave wasn't there. Me and Dave would have done the whole damn, and then he would have said, whoa. And then I would have popped up with this ain't what you want. Damn it, Dave. Where were you, Dave? Damn it.
This
Dave.
match was absolutely meaningful. This meant everything to Sammy. This meant everything to the Usos. Like, I mean, yeah, this meant a lot to KO also because he got to main event it with his best friend. This was KO's second main event next to when he main evented Austin last year.
KO main evented back-to-back manias. That's
Yes.
fucking fire.
That's fucking gold.
You can never take that away from him. Ever.
And
never.
one time with my guy. Ooh, God.
And that the first one was with Steve Austin. You cannot take that shit away from Kev. That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
This tag match was probably the most storytelling, the most psychological match I've ever seen. This was absolutely insane. I'm not gonna say this was pure perfection, but this was one of those matches where it was like, I'm gonna watch the show every week because this story is really interesting. I love this build. I love that now we could finally switch the belts onto another team, even if it is a makeshift team, but I can't call that a makeshift team because they've been best friends. They've been teaming for years. So, Meltzer shit. 7-star Meltzer shit.
Oh.
7-star Meltzer shit. No, because the story was just amazing. And this was Sami Zayn's moment. Sami Zayn rightfully deserved this for all the hard work that he's been putting on the bloodline. Again, this whole thing was supposed to be like a month, but then they switched it to make this for this to keep going, and it got so fucking hot that they pulled the trigger at the right place at the right time. What's sad was, he didn't get the big moment at Montreal, which everybody was expecting that to like that. If there was a match where the hometown crowd wanted you to fucking believe that their hero was gonna win, it was that fucking match, and it was snatched away from us. I'll admit that, but still, he got something better out of it, and that's him main eventing WrestleMania with his best friend, and you can't take that away from Sami Zayn. You can't. He'll probably get another shot. Who knows? He'll probably get another shot. And if it does, he might not win it, but it'll probably be better than the match that he had in Montreal.
Nope. Meltzer himself gave it 5. So it really was a Meltzer scale match. First 5-star WrestleMania match since Brett and Austin. That's crazy. For Meltzer.
Austin. Yep. But that was night 1. Pretty solid show. Probably one of the best nights they had. What do you guys grade night 1 overall?
I'm gonna give it a solid B+. That's awesome. Solid B plus. Good.
It was kind of my turn.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're supposed to go first. Oh well yeah.
All right. Well, go
I'm
ahead,
just
6.
about the same. I'm gonna give it a solid bars.
So a solid B. I'm probably gonna go the same way. It's gonna get a solid B as well. Night two basically raised a lot of questions. A lot of questions indeed.
Ain't no damn question. I knew exactly what was going on. Ain't that right, Vinny?
Pal, what?
And I think all these matches we might have some of the answers to. Let's start it off with Brock Lesnar taking on Omos. This match was under 5 minutes, 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Go ahead, 6. Ramble on.
Better than what I thought it was gonna be. Still ass. I'm going to give this a bat. Just a bat. That's it.
I was completely fine with it. I was totally fine with this. Brock came out. He did some bumps. Got almost up. Gave him some suplexes. Hit his F5 and was like, "I'm going home, y'all."
That's it.
But then come to find out, Brock never went home.
Right? I'm going to the hotel, y'all. And it was still way more fun than fucking Theory and Cena as an opener. Like,
yeah, it was
way more fun.
But I still give it the same because it did about the same for me.
Yeah, it did. Like it wasn't anything special. But I mean, from what you would expect, oh my God, Brock is facing this really big dude. Can he beat him? And the big dude throws Brock around for a second, and then Brock is like, "I'm Brock Lesnar," and he gets rid of him, and there it is. Like for that, executed as well as you could do it. So I'm gonna give it a good.
All right.
Only because this was booked by Vince. Who booked this shit?
This would have been a main event if I booked.
Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler taking on Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, taking on Natalya and Shotzi, taking on Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. This match was 8 minutes and 25 seconds. Also sponsored by TurboTax.
All right. Well,
Ramble on, 6.
I feel like the men's was better. It was better in a lot of ways. I feel like they showcased a lot more athleticism. There was a lot more stuff going on. I feel like this one they didn't give as much. I don't know who booked this shit. Well, we can kind of guess, but it was missing something, man. It was. I don't know. The other match had more crazy shit, I guess. This one to me was just like, I'll just give it a good. Natalya did that gimmick, and Shotzi did things, and you didn't miss nothing.
Shotzi was the worst throughout this whole match.
you didn't miss.
This match, it felt like this match had like the same aim as the men's one from night one, but not executed nearly as well. Like the men's match, it felt like it had like at least one person from each team that had like a standout moment or came out of the match looking really good. Like you had, Tez doing his big spots. You had Braun and Rico both doing crazy spots. Gable looked great in the match. Viking Raiders both had, like, everybody got to like have a standout moment. In this one, it kind of felt like they kind of tried to have a sequence where everybody did something, but the only people that really had focus in the end were Raquel and Ronda and Shayna, who won. So of course, but like it didn't feel like anybody other than Raquel really got to stand out here. Why is Raquel always smiling?
I don't
know. She's a babyface apparently, so they got to make her smile.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's one of those WWE things now.
She has a great smile, but like
you're not gonna do it all the fucking time.
Yeah, she out here like lifting girls up for the Chingona bomb. Like, hi, like you killing people.
There was like a moment where I think like she took a berry from someone. She's down on the floor and she's still smiling. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
You know what I could compare it to? Pageant fakeness.
It is.
When you watch like a beauty pageant or some shit, and everybody's just
Yeah.
like smiling and waving, like super fake
She's
smile.
she's Miss Mexico.
Yeah,
That's
cheers.
basically how they're treating her, and that's basically what they're trying to do with her character. And I don't like it because I've seen her in NXT with super aggressive face,
Yeah.
super like like she was looking like the next China in NXT, and in WWE she's like this fucking Lionheart
You
Chris
know what it
Jericho
is?
in fucking WCW.
You know what it is? They
Real
got rid of
bad.
her. They got rid of her trench coat when she made it to the main roster.
Mm.
I mean, yeah,
But it wasn't just that. They got rid of her character. Her character
like
was like
it
a
was just
savage.
weird to me. Like she
Yeah.
came out with Liv, and then they were all smiling and waving, and like whatever, you do that during the entrance. But then like the match went on, and Liv wasn't smiling no more, and Raquel still was. I was like, what's going on here? So
that pageantry fakeness shit.
yeah, and I mean, I wish, and I said it before, but I wish they would do like cool, like make Liv the hardcore girl. Why won't they commit to that? But whatever. This gets a bad. Ronda and Shayna look dope as Ryu and Ken, and they're cool.
Yeah, that
but,
was cool. And they can
you
whoop
know.
ass as well. But
I love fucking Shayna. She's the dopest. But this is
to me,
whatever.
that was the highlight of that match was those two. Like they were fighting in there like savages, and then it made me want fucking Marina Shafir to come over here so they can complete the trio.
Yeah, this match was for them to whip ass, and actually, no, they can go join Marina elsewhere.
Yeah. That like the way you said. I like the way you said better.
I did not like this match whatsoever. This match was sloppy. It was bad. And honestly, Ronda and Shayna didn't really do anything. They only stayed in the corner because one, Ronda's injured. They only got tagged in for when they needed to bring it home and shit, which was kind of a lackluster. And I just
they just cleared the ring.
They cleared the fucking ring, and that was it. Like I get that was your whole point, but it was also like, again, what was the point of this match to begin with? We didn't need all this. I understand you wanted to put all these women in, but most of these women were makeshift tag teams. The only legit tag team that was there was Ronda and Shayna, because they have MMA backgrounds. They work together. They're best friends. All these other teams, like, how many times are we going to have Raquel team up with different women? Like, she was already a tag team champion with Aaliyah. Now she's teaming up with fucking Liv Morgan. She's teaming up with Shotzi. What's next? You're going to team up with fucking Natty? Like, you could have had Beth Phoenix showed up to team up with Natty for this match. She did not need to team up with Shotzi because, one, they had a tank for Shotzi, which they didn't even fucking use. Embarrassing. What was the other one? Again, like, and Chelsea Green getting her way into Mania, good shit, but why do you got to do it in a Karen way? I understand the gimmick is a Karen, and I hate that gimmick so much because she could do so much better.
People go years without making a Mania card. Chelsea,
but then again, they add Sonya Deville because fuck Carmella, fuck Piper Niven. Apparently, they weren't getting her wins in her matches, so Sonya Deville got a win with her, and now they're in Mania. Wow, big fucking whoop. But that just feels very lackluster. Who booked this shit? Because I know it wasn't Vince. And this had to be Road Dogg at least.
Yeah, it was me, pal.
No way,
it was me all along.
I don't care about this shit. If I booked it, I just told them to make sure Ronda and Shayna go over.
Yes. Again, sponsored by Mike's Hard Lemonade, featuring Titus O'Neil.
Good sponsor.
For the Intercontinental Championship in a triple threat, Gunther defending the IC title with his goons, Ludwig Kaiser and the Eichner, Giovanni Vinci, taking on Sheamus minus his brawling brutes, taking on Drew McIntyre and his returning sword, Angela. This was 16 minutes and 40 seconds. 6? Ramble on.
TJ knows my favorite type of match. Goat. Oh man, what more can I say about this shit, bro? It's 3 meaty men slapping me.
Jesus!
You want to see a brawl. You want to see motherfuckers fight. You want to see a triple threat match that didn't feel like, okay, we're going to fight over here and then we're going to kill this guy and he's going to go over there and then they're going to fight over here. And then, no, this was an ass whooping left, right, and center. If you got in the way of somebody who was throwing a punch, you was getting knocked the fuck out. This shit was great. Sheamus was out here pounding motherfuckers. Hey, yo, pause. Sheamus was out here beating the shit out of motherfuckers. Fucking Drew McIntyre was out here throwing kicks left, right, to the center. Fucking chops from Walter just felt like chops from Walter. Don't mention that other motherfucker because that's not his name in this match. Jesus Christ, man. Again, this was a GOAT. Fight me. Yeah. If I had a title to throw that I didn't give a fuck about, I'd throw it.
Jesus! I eventually came to accept the name Gunther because in watching some SmackDowns, I had seen that they got this man doing things that Walter would never, ever do, like run away from people. So I eventually accepted that, yeah, this is Gunther. This is a different man. But something happened in this match.
It was not no fucking Gunther.
Sheamus hit this man one time. He felt the energy coursing through his veins.
Yep.
And it's almost like Walter just exploded. He came back to the forefront. He said, Gunther, you got to get the fuck out of here real quick. I got to work. And then in response, Drew McIntyre decided, I am no longer Drew McIntyre. I am now Drew Galloway. Let's fight. Let's fight.
And then Sheamus always been Sheamus, so he did Sheamus.
Yeah. He was just Sheamus. So they was all out there throwing, going crazy. This was exactly what Six said, what Big E said, big meaty men slapping meats, the best version of it. I fucking love this match. This was that shit. And another, boon to that point, what Six talked about and how no one fell asleep.
Hell no.
Just
no.
Motherfuckers, they constant three-way spots back and forth. Like all three guys were always involved, and if they weren't involved, it was only for a moment, and it made sense when the time that they spent out of the match
because they had to sell and shit.
It all made sense. It all worked perfectly. You normally don't see triple threat matches like that, especially not in WWE. Like you normally see the classic formula of two guys work, guy falls asleep, but nah. And to do it with like brawlers. Normally, it's like high flyers or technical wrestlers that do that type of stuff because they have like cool 3-man move chains. There were no 3-man move chains here. It was just doof, 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 doof. They just all throw it at each other, and it worked. It was perfect. This shit gets a GOAT. This is a GOAT easily. Match of the weekend for WrestleMania for sure. No question. GOAT.
Agreed.
Woo! Ain't nothing better than watching a bunch of beefy men slapping the ever-living shit out of each other. This match literally stole both nights.
I thought you were going to say, hold on, Hazel.
The whole weekend.
Wait. I thought you were going to say this match literally slapped. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Oh, no.
But also be true.
This match slapped. This match slapped. Literally. If there was ever a time that the crowd finally got to hear what a man's slap looked like onto another man's chest, it's this match right here. And yeah, this is one of those where it's like they flipped the fucking trope on this shit. It wasn't like, oh, two beefy motherfuckers fighting each other. No, it was, okay, if you got in the way, you are getting involved. And there were moments where they were like, all right, you're in my way, you're going to get pounded by this man. You're in my way, you're going to get thrown to this guy. You're in my way, you're both going to get fucking lariat. You're in my way, you're both going to get chopped. That was this whole thing. This was a straight up brawl. This was a fight indeed from all three competitors. This was probably one of the purest wrestling matches WWE has ever done with the Intercontinental Championship. Single-handedly one of the greatest Intercontinental Championships by far in the history of WrestleMania. This man, Walter, is fucking killing it. He gets another 5-star rating for this match by Dave Meltzer. This was absolute. Besides the fucking product placement, the biggest positive that I could say outside of this match, Titus O'Neil finally giving Corey Graves a taste of his medicine. because Corey Graves did not want to shut the fuck up, and Titus was not having that shit. There were moments where Titus was literally about to curse this man out on commentary.
Yep.
He almost said shit.
He did.
Man, shut the fuck.
Yeah, he almost said that too. I'm like, yo, you're the one drinking the product placement then, because you're getting mad hype, bro.
Like, yo, shut
You
up,
was
bro.
hyping this shit up. You was putting Corey in his place. I'll give you that. Yo, this match, absolute 8.5 Meltzer shit.
Damn.
This was match of the year caliber right here, son. If this is not on anyone's top 10 match of the year of 2023, you're not a wrestling fan.
Oh, this is definitely the best WWE match I've seen so far. And yeah, in terms of overall, it's up there. It's up there.
It's definitely up there. Like, yo, Gunther killing this shit again, putting on a banger match with this was the standard European match. Perfect fit for the Intercontinental Championship. An Austrian, a Scotsman, and an Irishman brawling it out like men. Such good men. Fuck Regal. 8.5, man. Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. This shit was 16 minutes and 5 seconds.
Oh, baby.
Go ahead, Six, ramble on.
Man, them little girls in the beginning had me teared up like a little bitch. And then to later find out that the little girl who did
the contortionist shit
stuff,
yeah.
Her mom passed away.
Her mother had Hazel.
Sorry.
Coño. Yeah, so I found out that her mom had passed away, and I'm just like, wow, man, like that little girl is brave, man. She's strong as hell. And you know, her doing the whole thing and Bianca Belair coming out, that was beautiful, man. The whole thing was beautiful. My heart felt for all those little girls. That, man, they did their thing. They looked awesome. They were cool as hell. And that one little girl, man, I'm still it's always gonna hit me like, damn, that really happened. That little girl still went out there and killed it. Wow, man. You know, that's just entrance stuff and stuff that's going on the outside. When it comes to this match was all right. I didn't think it was bad at all. I mean, Asuka came out, you know, swinging. Asuka came out to me looking like the competitor that just will not give up, will not quit, will keep going, will keep trying to stomp your fucking head in. But Bianca Belair, golly, she was just that one touch, that one level, just right above her. And you know, part of me is, you know, I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna beat around the bush, but Asuka, man, I don't know. I feel like Asuka could have done more here, man. She was, you know, she was unrelenting and but there was something missing, man. I mean, I go back and watch those matches when she was Kana, and there was like this certain air of like aggression in her attitude and her demeanor and the way she walked and talked that I didn't see here as much. You know, she did a few cool things. She had some of the, you know, she did the miss, you know, kind of shout out to Muda, who was put in the Hall of Fame earlier. And, you know, it's just, I don't know. Like, it was, I'm going to give it a good regardless because it was a good match. But I felt like there was like a drop missing or something here, man. Other than the fact that Bianca Belair is just unnaturally fucking incredible. Like, I don't understand where she be getting the strength she be getting to be doing half of the shit she be doing. Like, Bianca Belair to me in this match was an absolute beast. She's been showing off the last few years. And like, I feel like she's the one right now when it comes to, you know, at least the Raw's women's division. She's the one right now. Asuka, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her, but I feel like she could have spiced it up a little more during this match. So again, I'm gonna say this is gonna get a good, and y'all go ahead, ramble on.
I thought this match was really good, actually,
but
it might have been in the wrong setting.
And
I don't know because I don't feel comfortable enough saying that because I don't fucking watch the week-to-week product. So, you know, but I do see the video packages and everything they do beforehand, and I try to glean what I can from that. And everything with Asuka basically, you know, reverting or changing up and doing, you know, kind of basically. I guess you would have figured it would have led to a different kind of match, because I think the match they had here
I
was
think
like
that's what it is.
I think the match they had here was a good back and forth wrestling match with a lot of good chain wrestling and counters and things of that nature. But maybe that's not what the particular storyline called for, which is maybe why it felt like, because I do feel like there was something missing to it, but I can't pinpoint when it was. And I'm watching the match and I'm like, this is good wrestling. Like everything they're doing looks good.
Yeah.
Everything they're doing makes sense. Like there's nothing really bad I can say about the work of the match itself. Just that, maybe there was that small element of it missing. As far as Bianca goes, like, as much as I may like joke and talk shit about this company and everything they do, I will always give them credit for how they took Bianca and saw her for what she was and went with it. How often do they fucking do that with anybody anymore?
That's
rare. They just see somebody and strap the rocket to them because they know this person has it. We have to beg them to do that with people. And they just did it with Bianca. Yeah. And they just did it with Bianca. And they continue to do it with Bianca. So that always impresses me. It always impresses me that they see what they have with her and they're making sure that they don't fumble that. I mean, we're not gonna talk about what they did with her and Becky and all that last year, but for the most part, they make sure that they don't fumble what they have with Bianca. So I respect that.
Yeah.
And I think Asuka's great too. It's a shame, low key, that she can't fucking win at this show, but I think she's a top tier talent, and maybe something will come of it, and they can build upon this feud later. Did they continue the feud or no, Hazel?
No, they haven't continued it because Asuka was actually not on Raw Monday.
Oh, okay, so I don't know. Maybe down the line they could come back to it, and they could have that sort of match that we're talking about here. But in this, I thought it was good. I'm giving this a solid good. Good and a half, in fact.
Did you feel a bit, TJ, like it was almost like Asuka doing kinda? Because that's what it felt like to me.
Kinda, and maybe that's just because
felt,
it's WWE, and there are those sorts of restrictions, and you are bound to a certain style. So maybe that's what it was. But yeah, it does feels like Asuka was playing kind of and not fully being like she was before.
Something was.
Yeah, so I get what you mean by that.
I feel honestly, Bianca really did not need this win at Mania. Like Asuka's already 0-5 now. This one, to me, I feel like the wrong person won, but I get that from what I saw Monday. They're going to be doing another title unification with Rhea and Bianca. It's just a matter of time before they officially start cooking that shit. Possibly till SummerSlam, we might have that match take place. I don't know, but Bianca has been going over a lot lately. Like, she's held on to that title ever since she won it from Becky at WrestleMania last year. So she's been looking pretty strong. She's been looking pretty protective. But at this point right now, who do you have left for her to face? Who do you have left? I mean, you can't get anyone that's in the women's tag division right now to face her because that just fucks up the whole thing.
Actually, you know what the rumor was that I heard?
What?
They might unify the belts or do something where they do, kind of like a title.
That's what I was talking about, because Rhea Ripley came out when Bianca cut a promo and she's the women's champion, and they were kind of teasing that. So
But again, that's just a rumor. That's just a rumor.
It's just a rumor, but I'm hoping, like, the rumor is going around saying that SummerSlam they're going to unify the belts, this and a third. But still, I think Asuka could have came out of here looking good with the new gimmick, with the face paint and all that shit. But again, it's like you make her look this fucking strong. Like when she made her return at the Rumble, you made her look strong when she won at the Chamber. The build felt weak, but at least it was getting somewhere. And then when the bell rang, it was just, I don't know if they weren't clicking, but there was just no chemistry. They had some good moments. I'm not going to say the match was terrible or was god-awful. It wasn't, but the crowd was not feeling it, and I don't think a lot of us were either. It was like the very end, they started picking up, and then the KOD, the mist, and all that shit. I'm going to give it a 2.5. Okay, now we can talk about fucking Shane McMahon turning his goddamn quad because this match was an audible, had to have Snoop Dogg get involved, and it was 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
All right. So I'm watching basically the highlights on YouTube right now. And the most viewed part I'm not shitting you, bro. Go on and you can see it yourself.
I'm not
You see
watching it
how it
because
has
this is what it broke. This is
hold
where
on.
it broke me.
You see how it has the little, it shows kind of like the little
Oh, the most replayed part of the video.
yes, the most replayed part of the video was literally with Shane McMahon. So so it's the same shit as yesterday. I'm just like, this shit is fucking doofy. I would have much rather had Bobby Lashley have a match, but okay. I would have much rather y'all have less fucking product placement, but okay. And then fucking Shane McMahon comes out. And then I'm just like, Miz and Shane again. All right, fuck it. I'll roll with it.
Miz will get his win back.
I'll humor this, whatever. You feel me? Bro, this motherfucker goes to do a leapfrog, lands, and cannot get up. And I'm just watching this idiot like struggle trying to get his stupid ass up. And I'm just like, bro, there's something in the McMahon genes that at a certain age, your fucking quads just say, fuck it. I don't know if you remember Vince McMahon trying to fucking run into the goddamn Rumble and tear both of his
Like father, like son.
And then his son comes out here at WrestleMania, jumps up, pop! Ah, fuck.
Stop it. Get some help.
And then he tried to get up and shit. But I am going to say, I commend the shit out of Snoop because they made him call an audible. They probably hit him up in the headset, like, all right, you got to get in there, do something, and fucking finish this match. And he was like, fuck, okay. And he said, I'm going to do the people's elbow. Yeah. And Snoop Dogg proceeded to do the people's elbow on the Miz, and it was the silliest, goofiest, dumbest, most embarrassing shit as a wrestling fan that has ever happened at a WrestleMania. Ah, God. I'm not giving this a rating. This shit doesn't garner a rating. This shit is a skip.
It is. This shit is a skip. We give it Uncle Snoop a go. But
yeah, Uncle Snoop gets a goat because he
Yeah.
did that shit. He
Yeah.
didn't have to be that good at fucking just calling an audible. He
I'll
did
give Uncle Snoop a bars because he didn't go up to the top rope like he did in AEW.
Facts, he went to the top rope in AEW.
Yeah, in
WWE.
AEW, yeah.
You gotta pay him extra WWE to get him on the top rope.
Yep.
This whole match, though, oh my god, -5 now is because Shane McMahon showed, like, right then and there, this Mania broke me because it just showed that, oh my god, Monday is probably going to be worse than what I'm watching here, right? Because Vince McMahon has to be behind this. There's no way in hell that Triple H would be that dumb enough and call Shane's like, hey, you want to do WrestleMania?
That was definitely a Vince. But at the same time, Vince said he wasn't in good.
Yeah, I feel like it probably was a Triple H call, but Triple H probably was just like, filler segment, that'll be fun to get out of the way, whatever, nice pop. Yeah. But then it went how it went.
Brood Edge taking on the Demon Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell match sponsored by Nickelodeon Guts and the Pope's Exorcist. This was 18 minutes and 10 seconds. Before we even had them, before we were going to start this match, they fucking decide to show us the Pope Exorcist.
Man. Finn Balor comes out looking as cool as all hell because that's what he do. You know, he had a really dope entrance. I was glad to finally see that, you know, the OG entrance that he had on NXT and all that fun shit. You know, it was great. You know, then Edge came out with the whole Brood gimmick. I was kind of sad because I heard that David Heath, aka Gangrel, was supposed to actually be in there and do the entrance with him. So I'm kind of sad about that. And then they added the Pope's Exorcist shit, which I didn't really care for, but okay, whatever. You know, it was just cool to have fucking, you know, Finn and Edge come out with these cool entrances and, you know, fucking I think the song that Edge came out to was by Slayer.
Slayer, South of Heaven. That song kicks ass.
Which is a dope ass song. Like the metal. I have no idea what it's a reference to, but like the metal helmet head, cool shit was dope. The bat wings were dope. Yeah, I like both of their entrances. It was cool. The match itself, when you talk about like the actual things that happened in the match, this was hardcore. It was fucking bloody. It was nuts. It was. But then when you, it's the presentation. It's the presentation. I'll explain what I mean. You get rid of the stupid red Hell in the Cell, right? And my fucking 10-year-old me is like, oh, it's the good Hell in the Cell. Yes, yay! And then you make all the weapons inside of the match with a fucking beautiful fucking fresh fucking splash of purple and red paint. And that's where I'm like, you couldn't have just left it alone. We couldn't have just had a normal Hell in the Cell. Everything has to be a fucking gimmick and everything has to be a cartoon. We couldn't just fucking just have. And then I feel like the match went a little bit to shit once fucking Finn busted his head. I feel like after that it just got a little weird and it slowed down, which I guess it was gonna tend to happen after a fucking major cut like that. But I feel like the match slowed down after that. As a feud match, I feel like nothing was actually resolved here. As a crazy Hell in a Cell match, it wasn't as crazy as it could have been. But again, Finn got hurt and God knows what else they would have had planned.
Oh, he was on Raw the next night, beating up Bad Bunny.
For what it's worth, I'm gonna give this. I'll give it a good. I'll give it a good because I liked certain parts of the match and I liked the violence and I like all that stuff. But I feel like story wasn't there anymore. The match itself was just, I don't know, something was again off, man. There's something about this Mania night that was just off.
Why would you call this man Brood Edge?
Oh wait. Before that, the fucking demon thing. Stop it. Either bring it back to prominence and make it what it was,
or don't bring it back at all.
Stop it. Just fucking stop it. Because you guys obviously don't know what it means to be the demon and what the demon character is supposed to be. So fucking stop it. He's supposed to be like basically undefeatable. He only brings out that character when he knows, like, I'm going to absolutely destroy you. And you're not doing it. So stop it.
Why would you call this man Brood Edge and not play the Brood theme?
That's another one.
What the fuck? Like,
And
Slayer is dope.
Yeah.
That the Slayer song was cool, the entrance was cool and all that, but like, don't call him Brood Edge like that's a secret alternate form. And that is just Edge in red coming out the Slayer. That's not. Where's the fire? Where's Gangrel with the goblet going crazy?
See, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. So apparently that was supposed to be the idea. But a certain somebody said, I'm not paying that motherfucker, and I'm not paying the licensing fee to have that character on TV.
So don't call him Brood Edge.
That's what I'm saying. But I think it was somebody else's decision. You understand?
And what is Brood Edge? Like, first of all, Brood Edge when he was in the Brood was just Edge. He just came out with Gangrel, and it wasn't,
to be honest,
a different alternate power or nothing like that.
He was weaker.
Yeah, he was weaker. Like, rated R Edge is the ultimate Edge, truly.
Yeah.
Like, Brood Edge was rookie Edge. Like,
Yeah.
what? Anyway, entrances were cool. Then this match, bro. Yeah, I know how I feel about the demon.
Mm-hmm.
The color-coded weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Random platform in the middle of the cell for Finn to jump off.
Yeah, man. Yo,
Yeah, why was there a platform there?
Okay, apparently for some reason there was supposed to be a spot where the platform was supposed to be much higher, but Finn didn't want to do all that, so they kept it like in the middle area where they had all the extra thick layer of chains and shit.
I think you nailed what
They said that apparently it was supposed to be on the corner of the cell, and Finn was supposed to jump there, but since there was no length, and Finn couldn't basically jump that far in order to reach the table, they figured, okay, this is the closest advantage point.
Yeah, they had to do that shit. I think what you said, Six, is where this match falls and where the problems are for me, in that it was fucking cartoony. Like everything is cartoony as hell.
Yep.
And just silly for what is supposed to be this big ass blood feud. And then you got the story of this match being that, you know, Finn is now the demon. So this is his ultimate form, and he's unstoppable and he's impervious to pain. And then the match gets stopped because of blood. And that's when that shit checked me all the way out of this shit. I didn't give a fuck after that, bro. And I get it. Like he got cut bad, so like I'm not even particularly knocking him for it, but it's like you can't sit here and tell me the story of the unbeatable monster demon when I just saw the medics attending to him 2 seconds ago and the match was stopped. Like, again, stopped a Hell in a Cell match to give someone medical attention. This is supposed to be the feud ending. Somebody could die in this shit, and we got to count the 1, 2, 3. Not really, but that's the story you're telling. And there you go. Like, I think Hell in a Cell is dead, bro. Like,
you know, I'm gonna tell you what it is. Here's what it is. Hell in a Cell is supposed to be a once every few years type of match where it only happens to finish off a
Blood
really
fuse.
big, really big blood, like beyond blood feud, like a huge blood feud. And instead of using it for that purpose, you've been using it as a pay-per-view, and it's kind of watered you down to the point where everything good you could have done with a Hell in a Cell has been done.
It's funny because I remember when WWE first went PG and they had a Hell in a Cell match, Edge and Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
And people were worried that because the product was now PG and blood was gone, that they weren't going to be able to have a good Hell in a Cell match because of that. Now there were more restrictions on them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Then they had that match, and it was great.
Yep.
Because they did a bunch of crazy stuff, weapons, tables, ladders, shit. They did a bunch of cool stuff in that Hell in a Cell, and they showed that even if you don't have blood, there's still a bunch of creative, brutal things you can do within this structure.
Let's not forget the fucking end of that match too, when he chokeslammed him through the ladder, through the ring. The fucking fire showed up. Like, yeah, again, it's matches like that where it's like it could be a blood feud without the blood.
Yeah,
but we gotta keep it.
You don't necessarily need blood. Like if you can't have blood, you can pull off that blood feud type of match without it. But this Hell in a Cell match, Edge and Finn, I think this was the match that we were all afraid of in 2008.
Yeah.
Color-coded weapons, random ass spots.
And what bothers me is you got rid of the color for the fucking cell, making me feel like my mind nostalgically goes to that era where I'm like, oh, this is gonna be this type of Hell in a Cell. And instead you just make everything else color-coded and corny. It's like, why'd you do that? Why?
Edge and Finn themselves worked hard, so I cannot take anything away from them themselves. It's just everything around this match I didn't like it.
All the Vince-isms, all these Vince-isms,
all these WWE-isms around this match.
I really thought I was gonna like this.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought I was going to like this. But this whole thing was a fart in church.
This shit went over like a fart in church.
First of all, I'm going to say now because you guys didn't mention it, I hated the entrances. The daytime ruined the illusion of these fucking entrances. I'm sorry, but I don't care if we're in California. This should have been the time where I know that we complain about filler, but I think we needed the filler for this in order for the sun to go down, because those entrances would have been fucking top notch.
Well,
and
think about what happened before. What ended up happening? What do you call it?
At Mania 30.
No,
I know.
after this match, They did the Hall of Fame thing. They should have done that first.
That too, and
They could
then
have
I
done
can
that first,
understand.
and then the light, the the darkness.
But again, I'm one of those people where it's like, if this is gonna be one of those matches where we know it's gonna get theatrical with the entrances and they're gonna start doing stuff that's pretty big, this should have been it, and they didn't get it here. And basically, the daytime kind of ruined Edge's entrance. It ruined Finn's entrance. Like basically, the minute the match ended is when it got dark, which was like, oh fuck out of here, bro. Like their entrances got ruined. And first of all, Edge's entrance was like second down, probably the best next to Ray's and Dominic's entrances, because those entrances was badass. But this was kick ass. I didn't like the whole Brood Edge thing because 1, no Brood thing. 2, no Gangrel. 3,
That's what bothered me. No Gangrel.
3, if you're going to do something outside of those entrances, yeah, Slayer was one of them. But I think you should have just had Edge do the whole Slayer theme. Like, no more, Metalingus from Ultra Bridge and any of that stuff. I think just for this entrance alone, you could have had Edge come out with the Slayer theme. That would have been great. It would have felt better. It would have been perfect. Mm-hmm. Even Finn's theme, I think maybe when he brought back the NXT theme, that was badass.
Actually,
but then again, the daylight killed it. But the slow motion with the smoke bombs and shit, that was cool. TJ didn't get it. I'm like, bro, that's how people actually, you want to get better pictures. People use the slow mo for a reason.
Yeah, you're right.
I have actually a better solution to all of that. He comes out to the Brood theme, and then you play Slayer.
And then Slayer, yeah.
Solution.
Mm-hmm. Now, the match, though. Holy fuck. Okay. Now, the minute the ladder was thrown, I was excited because there was already blood in the ring. Mm-hmm. But then you stopped it. Right then and there, you lost me. You fucking lost me. This is a blood feud. This is a Hell in a Cell match. I don't care if the man's bleeding. Don't do your job for this. Because this is how you lose everybody in the crowd.
Don't do your job.
This is how you lose everybody in the fucking crowd. I understand that you want to protect your talent for the safety measures and shit, and nobody's allowed to take headshots. Like, I don't know if Edge got fined for that, but Finn did get clocked in the head. So there has to be a hefty fine indeed. But
I mean,
still,
it was a mistake. It shouldn't be.
Yeah, it was a mistake, but still, no trainers. Nobody should get involved. This is Hell in a Cell. Let's let it rock. Plus, we probably might have not seen most of that blood due to Finn's face paint. 2, I'm trying to erase the memory of NXT 2.0. Why do we need to have the tables and the chairs become a 154 box of Crayolas? This was bad on all things. To the point where I even told Six, yo, you rep blue, get in this match. We'll have a guts event.
You want me to climb the aggro crag?
Yeah, you win the fucking gold medal. While these guys look like fucking losers. These guys look like absolute jokes here. I considered their I Quit match to be way.
Right, by the way, the aggro crag.
Yeah, but it was aggro crag because they had 3 versions. Yeah. But still, these guys looked like absolute jokes. Their fucking I Quit match was better than this shit. I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry. Like, they even added a platform for Finn to do his coup de grace. I'm like, bro, you could have just done that off the top rope. There was no need for that platform. There was no need. There was no need. But I figured since it's the first time at Mania, I think the one thing that would have probably made this match cool, because WWE got the people to do all that cleaning shit real quick, we should have had a bloodbath being poured down on Finn. Basically to kill off this whole demon gimmick for good, since WWE does not know how to book a good demon Finn. They've ripped this character to shreds. It's worse than The Fiend. This is worse than, anything that Vince ever came up with in the 90s before the Attitude Era. This was just bad. Yeah, let's talk about the filler match that lasted for 30 minutes. Go ahead, Six, ramble on. Talk about all this filler that took place.
Well, I'm just talking about the Hall of Fame stuff. Stacy Keibler, goddammit. Stacy Keibler. I go back and I turn into
fame. Okay.
and listen, bro. I just want to talk about Stacy Keibler finance.
All right, that's important. That's fair enough. That's important.
I turn into Vince McMahon every time that you remember when Stacy Keibler did the gimmick and she's like, "Ain't nobody taking my job," blah, blah, blah. She jump in and
The famous Vince gif.
yeah,
That gif is Stacy table dancing for him. That's why he's reacting.
me every time I see Stacy. Me every single time to this day when I see Stacy. So I was looking at her like, "Man, girl, how the fuck you stay so fly after so many years?" George Clooney gave you that good water.
George Clooney, you catch these hands. You was the worst Batman.
Yeah, she
Facts, bro. Get out of here with that.
She took that back credit card and left them. Why?
Nah, go. Just go.
Roman,
Just go.
Roman Reigns defending the Universal WWE Undisputed Championships against Cody Rhodes. This was a Tokyo Dome match, longest match throughout the entire WrestleMania show. 34 minutes and 35 seconds. 6, TJ, let's bring this home.
So I remember doing a little show here on YouTube, and we were having a conversation, and TJ finally came in and shit. And one of the things that I was saying, yo, my nigga, I'm with all the chaos, bro. You imagine, bro, some shit. This nigga Roman Reigns pulls it out and wins the fucking match. That should be crazy, though, right? 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 And for being with all the chaos, even before the match started, during this very match, I was like, bruh, I've already lost. So what I'm going to do is I am going Roman Reigns. Which is where the term was coined when I said, put me in the sim. And the reason for that was I fucking booked this shit.
But yet you went for Cody to win.
Yeah, on
just like we all did. We all did.
But there was a reason why. They set up the story. Because that was me being chaotic. You feel me? That was me saying, these motherfuckers is crazy. They crazy enough to do this shit. And, but I was trying to think logically, just like everyone else was on that. And everybody went for what we thought would be logical. But I knew in my chaotic mind that I was right and that I should have never bet against Roman, because up to this moment, I have not bet against Roman since the one time that he made me lose the belt. Well, not lose the belt, but lose my opportunity at winning the belt. And after that, I was like, well, never bet against Roman. And God damn it, I should have stuck to my guns and continued to walk down that path of never bet against Roman, because this shit right here, this shit was fucking hilarious. Now, let's talk about the entrances in the match or whatever. The entrances were extra long, annoying, and filled with pyro. It was stupid. It was dumb. Fucking Codelander over here with his wings, and he thought he was gonna fly somewhere, but just like the career of a man who once said, "I believe I can fly," he completely knows that fucking floor. Yes, and then Roman came out and took his damnedest. I think he beat Taker. I think he beat Taker on this one.
What did Dave clock it at? Like 7 minutes?
He beat Taker, definitely.
Yeah.
So
this was more than 7 minutes.
It was long.
It was like 10 minutes, I think.
It was like 11 minutes, because remember, he had a piano open up.
Yep.
That shit was 2 minutes.
He soaked it the entire fuck up. And when it comes to the match, I'm gonna be honest. The match was actually all right to me. It was, of course, WWE's formulaic situation of, it's gonna be a finisher fest. But there was a lot of little extra things here and there. Cody was actually doing a lot of shit that in my head I was like, that's some AW shit. And then there was, the interference and the bullshit and the nonsense that I knew would happen. There was also him giving a kiss to his wife in the crowd and, saying hi to little Brody, which I love little Brody. -1 for those of you who are in the know.
Yeah.
And the match itself was, all right, decent until 1, 2, 3. What the fuck? Ah! This was the funniest fucking shit I've ever watched, bro. The funniest shit. You can hear the fucking Mark's fucking hearts breaking and shit. It was so fucking sad, bro. You know what? I'm gonna continue with the chaos. I'm gonna give this match a fucking go.
Oh my
I love it. I love it.
Yo.
Listen, you came out of it laughing his ass off. What more can you ask for?
This is what you wanted, right?
What
This
more
is
can
what
ask
you
for?
wanted. Put me in the sim.
What a part of the reason? I mean, there's a lot of things that make this match funny, but part of the reason I found this shit so funny is because in looking at this match at Cody's entrance,
Mhm.
at him during the match, and the way the crowd was just going ballistic for like everything he did, it was so obviously the time to put the belt on Cody.
Yep.
Like it was so fucking obvious. Like you look at this dude. This dude came out like Six said, shaking hands, kissing babies, like he's a presidential candidate.
Yep.
This man was the most beloved man in SoFi Stadium. He was adored. Like this crowd was ready to risk it all for Cody Rhodes on this night.
And then WWE said go watch AEW.
Yeah, WWE said nah, he hasn't struggled enough for what the fuck effort. Get the fuck out of here! Like this nigga, it's exactly like Drew McIntyre at Clash. It's exactly like Sami Zayn in Montreal. In that, yeah, sure, you can do it down the line, and it'll be a good moment, and people will love it and all that. But it'll never be this moment. Never. You never get this moment again. That's it. It's over. It's done. Finished. Finito. Like Cody can win the title and have a great run, and all that'll be cool. And we'll look at this like a mistake, but it's still a mistake. It's still the best moment. It's still the moment that you passed up, and it can never be this again.
You made him look like a mook.
It can never be this again. That's what makes it so funny to me, because Cody was so clearly at the cusp of being that fucking guy. He was right there, and all they had to do was give him the 1, 2, 3, and they said nah. The match itself, like Six said, WWE formula, but like in that, the crowd was so hot for it. So hot for it. Like even out, like you could go back and watch this live. Like at a point, I'm just sitting there like, I seen all this. I ain't falling for none of these falsies, whatever. And I got into the match, because the crowd was so fucking hot for everything they were doing. You had no choice. Like you had to believe in it, because the work was good and the crowd elevated it to a different level. So, I mean, the work was good in that sense.
And then what happened?
It created a compelling match, and then for all that,
and then
Roman wins. For all that, Roman wins. Everything I just said, the crowd being so hot for that is because of Cody, and Roman wins.
Go. Like, it gets a go. Give it a go. Match of the night. Match of the weekend.
Like, I can't believe it. It's not that I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's just so funny. Yeah. To see shit like the Cody versus the pedigree and all that was cool, and you know the little bit of payoffs with like KO and Sammy and the Usos and Solo and all that was cool. Just
and then.
I want to join you in the chaos and give it a go. But I can't. I can't. A good.
Now hold on. Wait. You know what? Really gets me, yo. Fucking Cody Rhodes, you piece of shit. You fucking had Kevin Owens after doing what he did the night before. fucking Sami Zayn, after doing what he did the night before, they came out and rescued you. They handed it to you like these, my nigga, like these.
Nigga sold. Sold.
And you lost, my nigga. What?
Like, y'all can talk about the
no.
machinations of what this means for Cody's run down the line. I don't give a shit. But, like,
Oh,
this
God.
is so funny to me because this was so obviously the moment and they didn't do it. But good match.
Yo,
I'm going to give it a bars.
Triple H is a piece of shit. Triple H booked that shit. Triple H definitely booked that shit. He's seen all the shit that Cody did in AEW, talking all that shit, doing all that shit, and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna step on your dick at WrestleMania. Holla at me."
He didn't even do that. He did it on Raw.
Bro.
There was a fan in the crowd after the show went off there like, Cody, Triple H doesn't forget.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I'm telling you, bro, he didn't forget, bro. That's what it was.
But yeah, genuinely good match with a hilarious finish.
He did it to Sting, for fuck's sake. What made you think he wasn't gonna do it to you, Cody? Come on.
Sting ain't even have beef with him.
Exactly.
Yeah, didn't. It's just another guy for Triple H to bury because WCW.
Yep. Damn, bro. That shit was.
But yeah, bars.
Okay. Oh my God. There have been moments where throughout this whole show, night 2 officially broke me. The Shane McMahon one broke me. And I think literally this match had me on malfunction mode. What in the fuck was this company thinking? You had it right there in the palm of your hands. The crowd wanted it. The people watching this at home wanted it. The people who were live streaming this shit wanted this. Did we wanted this? Maybe, but I think overall,
the chaotic side of us.
For us, I could say that for us, even though we weren't expecting what took place, it was a good ending for us. That's all that mattered to us. It was a good ending for us because we sat here, we watched this bullshit take place of Cody losing. And yeah, everyone's gonna say the same shit that they usually say. Oh, Cody, fucking Roman had a bunch of interference and shit. Like, yeah, that had to happen.
Yeah, and Cody also had a whole bunch of people interfere on his behalf as well.
But we didn't think
and
that
he still fucking lost. He's such a
didn't
punk.
Think that it was gonna fucking happen all of a sudden.
Well, let me tell y'all something, man. It makes me laugh the most because I told you so.
Bro, this is Mania 2000 all over again. And you had Triple H walking in with the championship, and he still fucking walked out with the belt. This had Mania 2000 written all over. And this was Triple H booking this shit? Nah, what the fuck was this, man? What was this? Bro, you had every opportunity to pull the trigger right here. And I get that you're trying to achieve this goal for Roman by hitting the Universal Championship reign in 1,000+ days, which is why I'm thinking we're running this shit back at next year's Mania. This time it's going to be completely different. It's going to feel like Cena shit without all the personal stuff. Cody's going to beat Brock in Puerto Rico, and then he's going to start losing fucking pay-per-view matches until he goes into the Royal Rumble as number 1, wins it, goes into Mania in Philly for the official main event. No more night 2 because, again, this is the last 2-night Mania that we have. Goes into Mania, main events against Roman. He's winning the belts there, and that's how he finishes his fucking story. Because guess what? This is Cody's first loss in WWE since he's returned. And now his biggest battle is not only against Brock Lesnar, it's against a rubber chicken.
Rubber chicken need to be in the main event. Fuck all that Cody shit.
At this point right now, the rubber chicken is so over than Cody.
Strap up rubber chicken. Get Cody out of here.
I think, honestly, this was a way to test Cody to see if he was ready for the big time. And I think He passed that test. Now he has to do it again. Next year's Mania. Mania 40. Him, Roman 2, twice in a lifetime. He wins the belt. He finishes his story. 6, I'm with you on this one. 10-star Meltzer shit.
Let's fucking go.
Because again, you know, TJ loves to talk about how he wants the chaos to ensue in this company. You could take your Goldbergs, you could take your Brock Lesnar's. This was probably the most chaotic thing since Sonic 06.
I booked it and got called fucking Vince Russo, but
This match was basically this whole ending.
It's not good booking.
Because, you know,
I didn't say it was good. I didn't say it was good.
Right now,
I said I know these niggas.
Rudy Charles is the most paperweight referee, not just in TNA, but all in wrestling referee.
Yo,
history.
Roman kicked him in the arm and he died.
Died.
That's crazy.
Flipped out the whole ring and everything. Man's died.
How strong is Roman's foot?
He was like a video game ref that just took like a basic finger poke of doom and then did this crazy fucking over the top.
That was legit the finger poke of doom.
Nah, even the video game ref. If you don't fully hit the video game ref, they'll get up.
Get the
And
fuck
sometimes
up.
they even fight back.
Yeah,
This
like, get the fuck
motherfucker
out of here with
was
that shit.
This nigga went straight to bed. And then, you know, the fucking entrances. My God. And I said it, and TJ, like, literally caught that shit like a bull's lightning. Like, yeah, Roman was the only one that got most of the fucking pyro out of everyone at Mania. They didn't
Yeah,
do
we thought
any.
it was gonna be for Cody. It was for
They
Roman.
didn't do any pyro on the outside. Like, Cody didn't get as much pyro as we thought. No, they did all that for Roman. So who's spending their budget on who, my nigga? Because it's not Cody. If they're really pushing this man to the fucking moon to actually hold on to these 2 goddamn belts, then you know what? I'm glad that WrestleMania ended on a chaotic note because this is what we fucking needed. This is what we needed. It may have ended on a bad note for viewership, but for us, in our hearts as wrestling fans, I think we enjoyed this shit because, oh my God, this is, we got punked. We got punked on this one. Let's grade night 2 of WrestleMania 6. Go ahead. What's your overall grade for night 2?
It gets a I don't want to call it a good, so I'm just gonna say a 3.
So just a C, a solid C.
A solid C. Well, actually, no, high C.
So C plus.
I see. All right.
High
So
C.
C plus.
Yeah, because I want to go drink one in a minute.
You ready? I was gonna say ready cherry or orange or
I like the orange personally.
orange is good.
I missed the Ecto Cooler.
Oh, the Ecto Cooler was fire.
Yeah,
Yes.
shout out Ecto Cooler.
Yes.
It was
Um,
basically orange on steroids.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll give this show a good. I'll give it a good. Going through it again, it's better than I thought. I thought it was initially. Like the bad stuff is still bad, but like the good stuff like pops. Like Brock and almost not that it was great, but it was fine. The triple threat was obviously fire. Bianca and Asuka had its problems, but as a match itself, it was good. Snoop, you know, Audible and was good. Like the good stuff was good. The bad stuff sat where it was, and there was more bad stuff than night 1. But overall, I don't think it like dragged the show down too hard. At the time, that's probably because fucking Roman won. But at the time, I was like, but it wasn't that bad. So yeah, good.
Despite everything that took place on night 1, it was still a better show than what night 2 did here. Like, this was not one of the worst nights, but it felt pretty fucking flat here, and that's probably what dumbed down WrestleMania a bit, which is why I didn't really get a lot of high rated grades that it got. So it's still passable, but it's getting a D plus.
Night 2 was the whack one of the two.
Yeah,
Like,
night 1 definitely better than that.
Overall, the whole like the match of the night throughout the whole fucking show, throughout both night 1 and night 2, we could all agree it was the Intercontinental Championship triple threat match.
Yep.
Like that stole the whole fucking show. Indeed. Next to that, we'll probably say the tag belts, Seth and Logan Paul, Dominic and Rey Mysterio. Everything
What are
else
you
in night 2
talking
was
about?
just garbage.
Roman Reigns winning was the most amazing moment of everyone's entire life. Do you not
For
understand who
us,
this man
Roman
is?
and Cody was genuinely a good match.
it was
Like,
a good match.
he is the one. Like, understand. Like, you have to acknowledge your tribal chief. I don't understand what you don't understand about him understanding that he's the tribal chief.
Yeah, you gotta do this.
But again, I'm believing that my theory might possibly happen that he could be main eventing Mania again against Roman because they got nobody to face Roman. That's why he's not gonna be booked in Puerto Rico. The main event is gonna be Brock versus Cody.
They gonna call back Goldberg.
I think right now the only time that they're gonna start focusing on Roman defending the championship is on the big 4 shows and quite possibly Fuck Country, Blood Money.
Yeah, probably.
But that is both nights of WrestleMania 39. Can't wait for 40 in Philly. Hopefully we'll be there in attendance, all of us together, watching a spectacle. If not, we'll do what we usually do, which is react and enjoy it here on television and give you guys some good
We're
product.
gonna leave right before the main event to go to whatever GCW show is going on at midnight.
Fact.
Next month, Ramblemania episode will be a special one. It's gonna hit 10 years for the Bullet Club. So I guess we could be next month. We'll do a 10-year anniversary special talking about the history of Bullet Club and how it's progressed and where it could be going forward if they're going to still be sticking around after the 10-year anniversary special. So that will be taking place next month.
Name your favorite leaders, matches, moments, all that good shit.
Yes. But stay tuned for more stuff that we got coming up within the weeks. New stuff being uploaded pretty soon. But with that being said, great one. Why don't you tell all of our Ramble Maniacs and all of your BC aliens where to find us?
But of course, already know where to find us. Find us on Instagram at Ramblemania, showing at Banter Club Podcast. Find us on Twitter at Ramblemania, Facebook.com/Ramblemania Show. Also find our group there, Ramblemania Show's Banter Club, where we and the other wrestlers, podcasters, and everybody we associate with post all that goings on and all that's going down. As far as audio goes, wherever audio is found, that's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, TuneIn, Overcast. Everywhere your podcasts are found, search Ramblemania Show or Banter Club. As far as visuals, twitch.tv/Ramblemania Show. We're on Spotify video. We're on YouTube. Search Ramblemania Show or Banter Club. And when you get here, like the videos, click subscribe and click the bell so that when the new content drops, it goes straight to you. That's for me personally. Find me on Instagram at TJ the Great One. That's TJ the GR, the number 8, the number 1. And find me on Twitter at TJ the Great. That's TJ the GR, the number 8. It's as simple as that.
TJ the Great.
Damn right.
TJ the Great. You can find me on Instagram at PUTMES.
What are you doing?
What?
Put me in the Let me stop. You can find me on Instagram at the number 6, the letter X, letter L, that is at 6XL. You can find me on Twitter at PUT.
Here we go.
MEINSIM. No, I'm just joking. You can find me on Twitter at SIIXX. Ain't I great? That is at SIIXX. You're all ready.
And you can find me on Instagram at iZombies, IZOMB, I want to try to see if I could get Ring of Honor and Impact done by tomorrow night. So let's try to see if we get the StreamYard up and running. We'll try to get the championship simulation up and running soon, probably within this weekend or next weekend, depending on Ivy's and TJ's schedule. So we could defend this at the next pay-per-view. We don't know which one, but we'll figure that out. For the Angel of Death 6XL, for TJ the Great, I am Hazel the Eye Zombie. This has been our Ramblemania WrestleMania 39 recap for night 1 and night 2. We would like to wish all of you a porn and goodies.
Too sweet.
And a good fight and a good night.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Where the fuck are your parents? Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop.